to the table, not with a set of demands that are where you're unwilling to compromise, but sitting down at the table and trying to move forward and see where you can reach that common ground. I started those conversations in 2019 with these folks, and they told me their way or no way.
Alice Tribune.
For both the Red Line extension and the near Southside High School, is there any chance that they could fall through if the federal or state government doesn't pull through with funding? And if not, what makes you confident that the resources will definitely be there?
I feel very confident with respect to both projects that the resources will be there.
Could you elaborate on, have you been promised?
I feel confident because A, this is something that we were determined to make happen. B, both projects. B, obviously we've done our homework and reached out to the funding sources in the Red Line. Obviously, the federal government is going to be critically important there. You may recall that I think it was Dorval in the summer of 21 when Secretary Buttigieg first came to Chicago in his role as secretary. We spent a lot of time with him talking about and showing him the plans for what the Red Line could do. I've had numerous conversations with him and his team since then, and I know President Carter, who worked in the federal government, has been talking to his former colleagues there to make sure that they understand the importance of it. This checks all the boxes of what the Biden administration has said that they want to do in these big mega projects to make sure that they're bringing equity to urban areas in particular and demonstrating that we have skin in the game. I feel very confident about it. And the same thing regarding the high school.
And I have a question for my colleague, A.D. Quigg. I understand the 2023 budget did not include a property tax hike, but the bills Chicagoans are responsible for paying in the coming weeks reflect a tax hike you did support, a burden shift from TIFs that you expanded today, and a higher levy at CPS, which had to take on additional costs last year. What is your message to Chicagoans who are looking for relief?
Well, I'm not sure I agree with all of those assumptions that were baked in. But look, this is a tough time for people. Inflation, I think, has hopefully stabilized and will start going down. We're going to look at the tools that we have, which frankly are limited at the municipal level. We don't set the property tax rates. We don't do the assessments, but we do speak with the counterparts in the county that do that. And as I said in answer to the other question, we're going to look at ways in which we can help mitigate against the effects of rising property assessments.
Mary Ann here, NBC.
Mayor, hi. I wonder if you would react to this poll that was just out this week on the mayor's race. It does show that you have a steep climb. Can you share what you see as your path and what polling you've done that refutes this premise?
Well, here's what I would say. About 4 years ago this time.
You weren't the mayor then, Mayor.
Well, 4 years ago this time. If you let me finish.
I think you're comparing.
No. You asked me a question and I'm answering. You want me to answer?
Sure.
4 years ago this time, polling showed that I was about 1%. And, there were bigger names in, more money, and here I sit. Fast forwarding now, somebody took a poll for their preferred candidate. You all need to ask, did they simulate a real campaign? Did they run negatives against that? Well, as I understand it, they won't release the crosstabs and show what this was done. And I think there's some question about the methodology of the poll. Look, you're going to see and hear all sorts of stuff between now and
trials and tribulations. But just know, the enemy is not gonna win. Cause the storm is almost over. That's right, the storm is almost over.
Don't you give up, you come too far to turn back now. Hold your head up, almost over. So set up to take you to your destiny. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It will be alright. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Storm is almost, keep on moving. Don't let nobody stop you, no. You're getting closer. Almost over. You're a soldier. Now fight your way to victory. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It will be alright. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Dark clouds may rise, strong winds may blow. It's hard to see through the rain. You gotta hold on. Be strong. Don't let go. Almost over. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything is gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. The storm is almost over. Just hold on, be strong. Don't give up. Just hold on, be strong. Don't give up.
WIFTBPM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. It's What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more... Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let this give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Oh, yeah. Wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. Live in the building on Thursday. It's... What you say? Bloop? What that mean when they say bloop? You ever heard when they be like, bloop? That's all right, because you ain't even know what Groupon was. Get your group on. You, man, y'all blew me yesterday, man. People was making fun. Okay. Y'all really call it Groupon? Not Groupon?
It's Groupon.
Y'all lame, man. I'm still rocking with Groupon. Get your group on. All right, y'all. It's the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. I don't know if y'all saw, I finally changed my profile picture after, I don't know, man, Riis. I changed my profile picture after about a year on Facebook, and I don't know if you saw the cover yesterday, Chicago News Weekly. Your man made the front page. Shout out to my girl, Cheryl Maynard, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. I was pretty proud of the pictures. Like, I really want y'all to see the rest of the photo shoot. So, dude who did this photo shoot, like, done shot Tupac, done shot, like, all the famous people. And it was like, if you, like, the pictures that they show are cool. And if I would have known what was going down, I think I would have went shopping, Riis. Because I was in the closet like, damn, I got to go do this photo shoot. You see, look, I made it. See, like, on the inside, right? Like, then, uh-oh. Then I was like, you know, psh. See, then it was like, then this one I had the thinker. See, Riis? If you're on the radio, you can't even see what's going on right now. But if you on, so you can see, bam. They kind of hooked your boy up, right? Shout out to Chicago News Weekly. If you in the neighborhood, you go somewhere, grab a copy. I had some things to say, Riis. They let me un-anti myself. Like, Riis is like, so much, man, so much. But I was honored. So let me just say thank you. Y'all pick up Chicago News Weekly. It's a free publication. Mays Jackson in black and white. Riis, they said, bring a black outfit and a white outfit. I was like, where I'm going to get some white at? Then I had to go in the closet. It's hard as hell finding a white belt, dog. I feel weird wearing a white belt. But they ain't even showed up. But, man, Riis, I'm going to tell you, dog, if I can get a hold of the rest of the pictures, they got some whiftables in there that's just off the chain. My man was like, stand right this. Do this. I was like, man, Then when I saw the pictures, I was like, damn. Like, I did not know. And so we're going to have to work on our lighting in here. Because lighting is truly everything. Like, after I saw that with the backdrops, with the digs, with the, like I did the Michael Jordan, you know how you see the pictures with the people, like, you know how Chris Paul got that commercial where he be doing I was doing that stuff, and it's look crazy when you be doing it, especially against, anyway, I was like, I could be famous for a day. Like, if they was like, Mays, I have had some fame days though. Like, you know, I was just thinking we coming up on 2 years ago. What's this? 3 years ago. I was getting off the jet plane from the Sundance Film Festival where we were nominees, man. We was like, psh, 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 psh. You would go into the movies. It was like, that's dope from the I saw him in the. That's why y'all got to go back and watch City So Real, man. I'm telling you, if y'all watch City So Real right now as we are going into, it's 4 years later, going into the election cycle. I'm telling you. You think about, we was at a different studio. We was at different people. We didn't even know Riis the Ruler. Just think. Man, Joe, we done a lot, man. You know that. Then did you know last year was it? Number two movie on number two most viewed joint on Hulu last year was Being Blago. And somewhere in the archives this year on CNN, I recorded another television special that'll probably pop out sometime this year or next year. I'm not sure. But anyway, Riis, it's been a blessing, man. I can't even lie. I remember when I first moved to Chicago, back to Chicago, because y'all be like, you ain't from Chicago. Now, I was born here. I went to A.O. Sexton. But anyway, man, who told you that? Hope. Not, you know, millennials don't follow no rules. They be like, white, I bought it, I paid for it, I can wear it when I want to. Riis, do you wear white after Memorial Day? Hold on, wait a minute. Let's do this.
Yeah,
Stop.
You know I do, man.
Right. Is it a rule? Yes. Break it,
It's
Riis.
it's supposed to be a rule. It's supposed to be a no rule after Labor Day. Then I think it come back when, like Memorial Day or something. Like that. Yeah, but if the occasion
Presents itself.
yeah, you know, I'm gonna go ahead, man. You know.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you, man, I ain't even tripping, bro. I'm with you. DJ Riis the Ruler, on the ones and twos. By the way, that is DJ Riis the Ruler on the ones and twos. And since you already heard him say, you know, I'm DJ Riis the Ruler on the ones and twos. DJ Riis the Ruler on the ones and twos. How you feeling today, brother?
Blessed by the best. You already know the rest, man. Listen, you ever been on the E-way and you just knew when you passed the accident, it was just gonna be this miraculous accident? Like, oh my gosh, like what happened?
Not on the new unleashed Jane Byrne interchange. Don't tell me they had a crash on the new. I told you they done messed people up with this new thing. But go ahead, Riis, tell me what happened.
When you get there, it's really everybody is just too busy being nosy on the side.
That's called a gaper's delay.
Yo, when you talking about you pull your phone out on your little Waze app, it got accident. It got like 6 accidents in this hole. You like, oh my gosh, like what happened? You know, traffic real slow, and as soon as you get to where that real accident at, it's really just a police car on the side with his lights on, but all the stuff is to the side, and it's just everybody watching. I hate those.
Gaper's delay. It's called a gaper's crawl.
I hate those.
A gaper's crawl. I hate gaper's crawls too. Man, Joe, can I tell you the best thing about the pandemic? And I think you might have said it recently. Traffic, man.
The greatest.
Yesterday, I was in traffic yesterday. I was like, now, Riis, I'm going to tell you, there are days when I can go get my granddaughter, and it could take me 10 minutes to get from 55th to the north side. And then there are days I can go, and I got to take every which way just to keep moving because I just go, ugh. Anyway. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the Ruler on the ones and twos. Looks like we are locked and loaded, Riis, so let's get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. Hey, Riis. We might have to take this joint to Hebrew Israel. I've been talking to the brothers, Riis. To the brothers that showed up at Madison Square Garden and said, we are Kyrie's army. They talking about coming on the show, Joe. Now, Riis, that's when we're going to have a special crawl, special warning, because you know it's going to be, hey, Riis, I'm here to tell you, it's a little crazy. Not crazy. Shout out to Brother David Israel. It's crazy. You know, you cannot, hey, Riis, may I tell you how I met the brothers? Yes, how I met them.
How you meet him?
Chicago Cut. So my man was coming home from work. He was going to take his lady to the, I think I told you about this. So it was right after we had these commercials, when I was through with you and Ruthie, because y'all was like, we're going to wear an MFU shirt to the right about it. And I was like, you know what? So I'm leaving out, and I see the brother and his lady is all dressed up, and he is coming up from work. And the restaurateurs was like, I'm sorry, you can't come in. And it was like, Riis, it was the moment when I was like, excuse me, Mr. Security. As you know, we spend quite a bit of time here. And it would really be greatly appreciated if my brother, who does have a pair of jeans in the car, if he was able to do that, he would make it happen.
So we had on some jogging pants.
I can't remember. I think it was like jogging pants or something, or some sporting attire or something. Right during and the security guard looked at me and he was like, "Well, of course, my friend." And the brother and his lady got to go in, and he was like, and then he hit me on the joint and was like, "You know, I'm part of I listened to the joint. You know, I'm part of it." Now he had listened to the show about the whole, you dig? And he was like, "You know, I'm part of the nation." Blah blah blah. And the next thing I know, bing bang bing. It seemed like we can't never get it coordinated. And he was like, "What day?" I was like, just pick a day. We're going to make it happen. So, Riis, coming up, I think next week, we're going to be talking to the people from the Hebrew Israelite. It's the United. They got a different name. I got to look up the name of it because I think there's different groups. But anyway, Riis, it's the Mays Jackson Show. So, in the headlines today, the casino passed yesterday. Shout out to 27th Ward Alderman Walter Burnett. Give him a round of applause. You saw he kind of snapped off the day before about the jobs. Well, apparently they brought him interest in the whole, you dig, and they sat it on down. And Riis, he got that casino passed, and it's going to be right over in the area of the 27th Ward. But the interesting part about it is the two white aldermen around it opposed it. So my thing is they shouldn't ask for no jobs or no nothing. Just be cool. Just don't even ask for it. Although, Riis, I still want to point out, the Maestradamus is going to remind you, Riis, there will be no casino until there is a new or a re-elected mayor. Now, Riis, I gotta tell you, I know y'all give me a hard time. Y'all don't think I give a mayor a hard time. I think she's acting like a defeat. She seems defeated, Riis. Like she seems kind of defeated. And we're gonna play today at 8:00. We're gonna talk about city council at 7. But at 8:00, Riis, we're gonna talk about the mayor's press conference and her lack of availability to the media. And then, Riis, I ain't never heard. I don't know if we was just so used to Chicago. I've never heard a sitting mayor call the opposition the front runner. Riis, it's almost like she giving it up to Chewy already. It's like I'm gonna play this press conference. It's like she sure gave him a lot of props. Riis, it is so crazy. I was watching this press conference and I feel like one of my shadow producers who pulled my coattail to the lack of knowledge of parliamentary procedure to one of the aldermen in city council yesterday said we was going to talk about that. But then when I saw this press conference, Riis, we're going to watch the whole question and answer session because the media is on the mayor and it's a lot of contrast from when she used to be like, sit down. Remember when the mayor used to snap at the press conferences?
Oh, yeah. You know,
she used to check a mug quick. Now she's like, if you will allow me to finish. Listen, it's very hard for me to answer the question if you're not going to. But Mayor, that's not would you like me to answer the question? I was like, who is this? What y'all? What the millennials say? What's that y'all say? Keep the same energy. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Riis, I'm gonna tell you. You watch this press conference, you gonna be like, that ain't your. That's not the same. That ain't your. You know how you be like, I love the mail. You know how you be like when she say craziness, right? Riis. Yeah, I was like, something is not right here. Something is not right here. Something is not right here. The red line extended to 130th Street, Riis to 130th, so it's going all the way to Altgeld Gardens. They're adding 4 stops. So we're going to talk about that in a minute as part of our social media. You know what I was just thinking too, Riis, about the mayor? She shouldn't have put that, she shouldn't have made that crying commercial. Because you know what I'm going to do next, you know, I'm not going to do it, but somebody is going to do, you know the crying Michael Jordan meme? Can you imagine a crying mayor meme for everything in Chicago?
Don't do that to the man. She opened up. She left.
She made herself vulnerable. Look, Spin Master, yeah. DJ. Look, Joe. It is the DJ Riis the Ruler, public relations and They need to hire you now, dog. I'm telling you, Klonsky, hire DJ Riis the Ruler, cause y'all need him. Riis know how to. Riis a finesse. Look, Riis had. Oh, she's so vulnerable. Riis, I'm just saying though, she shouldn't. I don't know if she should have did the crying commercial. It's like, how you gonna be? I'm just saying, it's like, how you gonna be sticking your finger in people's faces like this the whole 4 years, and then in the last 3 months be like,
she let you know that she does have a soft side.
Next, she gonna say she from Cabrini Green. That's now
it.
she gotta get to figure out her path to be like. And somewhere in my life I was when I
summers with my aunt in
Cabrini Green. Right. She either that or she gonna have to move. She gonna have to take a page out of Jane Byrne book. Well, it ain't that much Cabrini Green to move to. She can move to the row houses though. I was saying, Riis, that's the last thing.
You know what? Now she got to change this. I guess now she gonna have to do what that somebody did and spend one night inside of the
she better call Pastor Brooks up. Hey, Corey Brooks. Hey, first of all, y'all see Corey Brooks? Corey Brooks was like, I knock your ass out. Corey Brooks was in the boxing ring. I was like, shoot, you ain't see that? He's in the boxing ring on Instagram, like, who wanted with me? I was like, hey, Pastor, these y'all newfangled pastors, man, y'all box. Jamal Bryant is trying to sell weed. I'm just saying, dog. I might have to go ahead and get me a church, Riis. I think I could pull it, though. Like, Riis, I really think if I had a church, I have a great church ministry. But to be choppy, we need some alcohol. Not liquor. How we doing? Check us out. We choppy now. We back. How we doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back. We'll finish the headlines, and then we will talk the social media question of the day. It is the Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Mays Jackson.
Tune in to the Mays Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Mays Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Mays said, we out of here. Peace.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leading me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:33 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather updates. We head over to sports. The Chicago Bulls will lose in OT at the UC to the Knickerbockers 128-120. As we head over to traffic now in the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop will be 27 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 23. On the Edens, inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange and back will be 30 minutes. While the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 37 minutes. Back out to Thorndale will be 27. On the Stevenson, we got 37 minutes from I-355 to the Dan Ryan. Outbound will be 31. While the Bishop Ford from I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 48 minutes. 27 minutes to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 22 minutes to the Loop, 13 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Drive South, 55th to Jackson will be 8 minutes. Jackson to 55th will be 10, and on the north side will be 8 minutes in both directions. Today's weather, it is currently 35 and cloudy. Today will be a high of 41 with a low of 31. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Thursday. It's the Mays Jackson Show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around.
You are listening to the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. Hey, y'all, shout out to Church Chicago. I kind of miss Church Chicago, man. Man, if I wasn't quitting the game, I had to call Church Chicago back. We might have to get them to do us a concert. Remember when the church used to have a concert? Did you ever do church concerts, Riis? Did you ever go to a concert at your church? Was you in it? You look like one of the drummers, man.
No. I was actually in the
What you
choir.
saying, bass?
In the choir.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, like I grew up in one of them churches with like the little junior and youth choir. So,
Did y'all sell tickets?
No, we didn't have to sell tickets, but we did have to raise money. And me and my brother, I think we probably won like the most. So we was like the king for like the year. So like you
got all the solos.
No, you just had like the biggest trophy, and then you was like recognized, like everybody, you a kid.
Did you have to wear white shoes to church ever?
Yeah,
nah, like a white tux or like.
No, you didn't have to wear that. We used to always have our own like little patterns of like what we'd wear. So it was like Friday, and then we'd do Sunday. So like it was like a whole little concert that we did every year at my church.
Okay,
yeah.
We're not talking to you, Beulah.
Yeah.
We're not talking. Don't nobody care about your midnight concerts, midnight musicals. Don't nobody. Whatever you see from Beulah, how do I? How I push the button so I could turn off Bueller? Cause that's all right. That's okay. Let me stop. Cause that's God. Let me be good. Old Mays Jackson Show. DJ Riis the Ruler with the church choir winning the championship. He had the trophy. Yolanda. I'm scared. I'm sorry. First of all, I'm gonna call you Yolanda because Miss Wilson, we the same. Hey, we probably about the same age. You know what I'm saying? I can't be calling you Miss Wilson and we the same age. I got all this gray hair. What I look like calling you, right? What I look like calling Yolanda Miss Wilson? And she like, look at you, got more gray than me. Speaking of gray than me, shout out to the Saints of WBGX 1570 AM. Want to thank you all for tuning in. Everybody tuned in from WBGX 1570 AM. We can catch us every day, 6:30, every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8 a.m. live on TuneIn or on WBGX 1570. Now, if you are one of the sinners or early rising saints, you can start with us at 6 o'clock and make it all the way to 8 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9, right here on the Mays Jackson Show. Faith. I call for Hope, Faith. Hope. I wish somebody would put together a black mayoral forum too, man. Somebody needs to do it. I'm going to let y'all hear what the mayor said about participating in forums, too. We're going to talk about that. I got so much. This mayoral press conference was chock full of stuff that we got to pay attention to. And we're going to talk about that at 8 o'clock. But let me see what else I got in here. I told you I was a Chicago News Weekly cover story. If you have not, go out to your local news outlet, pick it up. It says Mays Jackson in black and white.
I can't go put the 50 cent in there and then get all of them.
Man, take them off. Nah, they free, Reese. They free.
Hey.
So you can get one. I'm mad they put free. Oh, well, I'm not mad because I am kind of free. Like, they should put kind of free. Yeah, but you can go to like go to your local neighborhood locations. I'm gonna get a list, but I want to start getting. We're gonna do a cross collabo with them. I would love to do one on the show too about the station. This one was just the Mays Jackson is not anti everything. Can I read my quote that I thought was important? Let me read the most important quote out of it real quick, Reese.
Did your PR firm confirm anything that you wrote? Everybody confirmed it.
I did not get clearance.
Oh man!
And I did not have my publicist sitting there, so I probably messed up.
Yeah, you know, because if they was like, yeah, oh yeah, and then they wanted, nah, you supposed to have you. You're supposed to run it through your publicist first.
I should have called you. You could have got the good spin. He wasn't really anti. He was really just expressing the viewpoints of others that are not. Anyway, here's but I thought, I'm not against anyone at all, Jackson says. I want everyone to be great, but I don't want it at the expense of black people. I just want our fair share. It seems to be a problem when we advocate unapologetically for our own. I feel so misunderstood, Reese. Well, I feel like I'm understood, and I think people think that understanding what I'm talking about is dangerous, so then they try to play like they misunderstand me. So anyway, thank y'all. Pick it up. Get you a copy. If somebody want to frame it, I ain't tripping. I'm going to she also offered me the opportunity to write again. I might start writing again because, Reese, I really do enjoy writing. Sometimes I don't get it right. I talk a lot, but I could write sometimes a lot better than I can say. So I may start writing again. Let's see. Shout out to happy birthdays today. Listen, if I had seats in there, this is why I got to have somebody got to be, like, that's not the things that I need to be doing. But I think it's a great addition because if I woke up and I saw my birthday, I'd want to be on it. Right? So we got everybody's birthdays loaded in today. So if you had your birthday, shout out to them. If you see somebody who had a birthday, tag them. Tell them they on the birthday line. Who's this on the birthday line?
They can at least call up and say thank you.
Yeah.
Come on, like, hey,
I'm sorry, I'm going to start.
So, man, I appreciate the birthday wishes.
In high school, we used to have this thing. There was like this, we had a balcony, like the crosswalk. And your friends for your birthday could pay to have your name and happy birthday, and so everybody would see it in the school every day. Like, I feel like there's gonna be a time when you be like, put my baby birthday on there. Like, if I knew your kids' birthdays, right? Like, if you knew your kids, and we should start doing the birthday thing, really, because if it is your birthday, Reese, especially, do you remember when you was a shorty and they said your name on the radio on the birthday? It'd be like, I ain't saying my birthday. You be trying to push the two buttons. Remember when you had to push record and play?
Yeah,
you don't even know what I'm talking about. You don't even know how to record and play. Did you remember? Did you?
I remember when you ain't have a blank disc, so you could stick some tissue in the real one.
Ah!
Come on,
then that's when you started sticking tissue. We said we were sophisticated in Bolingbrook. We used Scotch tape.
Oh,
you could just put Scotch tape over.
Nah. See, we used to stick some. We used to get some tissue.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Then you can record over it. Come on, baby.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, man, happy birthday. So happy birthday to all the people. Shout out to Phyllis Swain. Shout out to Larvetta Lofton. Shout out to the people I know, some of the people I didn't know. But happy birthday to you. Jesse White last night had his rap party, Reese. I don't know. So
did you go?
No, young MJ had the.
Oh.
Sorry, dog. Fam. So let's see. You messed up Jesse White's thing. I was about to talk about Jesse White, but I now gotta go back and talk about Holy Trinity. So first of all, shout out to Jesse White for 25 years of service within the as a Secretary of State, and many, many, many years more. I remember when he was the Recorder of Deeds. right? I don't know that I remember when he was a state rep, but I do remember Jesse Wright, recorder of deeds. And then after being recorder of deeds, I remember him being the Secretary of State. And remember Mike Madigan went against him, and all the people went against him, and he won. Anyway, and he became the longest-serving Secretary of State, human dignitary of the world, one of the most popular elected officials in the history of the country. Hey, Erica, and I meant to give you a happy birthday shout out. Or I think I said happy birthday, and I think I realized it after it was your birthday. Shout out to Erica Swain Farrell, who is 51 years old, who turned 51. I thought you was as old as me, but that's okay. Shout out to Erica, who had her birthday, I think it was 2 days ago.
Ricky said you talked to him bad on his birthday.
Who?
Ricky Henderson said.
Did I say Ricky? Happy birthday, Ricky was
I'm
sick. I'm sick. But I'm still gonna get that game all green. I don't care if he run for chief booty scratcher. Did he say dog catcher, booty scratcher?
No, he was I'm still gonna get him a happy birthday.
Before you say anything about that, gosh darn it, Poe. Look, Lori Lightfoot when we play this press conference, I'm gonna be like, she be listening to the Maze Jackson show, right? Because she did the Ricky Hendon on the poll on the press conference. So I'm gonna play that back a little bit later. But okay, so back up. Who was I saying? Was I saying happy birthday? What was I saying? Oh, Jesse White's rap party. Thank you, Secretary White, for all the years of service. I know that Secretary White, he remember if you said something bad about him, it is somebody calling him to tell him. May said that you was, because every time I see Mr. White, he always got to be, yeah, but you're going to talk about me on your radio show. You're going to say something crazy about me on your radio show. Shout out to Jesse White. Completely no shade. You talking about a person who Riis got in the game, like, dog, 30s, 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's time. I'm not going to trip. Shout out to Jesse White. And spell his name right. It ain't no I in Jesse. It's Jesse. That cracks me up when people be like, how y'all, this man been in office. He been in everybody's driver's license since we was born. Y'all still spelling the man name wrong? Spell it right. Jesse. Shout out to Mr. White. Shout out to the Tumblr. Shout out to all the people that made their way through life that have pensions. Riis, I remember going to, it's amazing to think about when I first got involved in the organization 20 years ago, and the projects were still up, and people like Wally Hunter and, you know what I'm saying, and Alderman Burnett and Ken Duncan, and it was like everybody was one big family. It was all the Tumblers, and it was all of that Riis, and the buildings were still up. I was driving through the other day, and I was telling my daughter, I was picking up Jersey, and I was telling my daughter that there was a time when I remember I ran my first campaign, and Cabrini was in it, and Chief of Police Phil Klein was like, all right, y'all, we was doing a press conference for Christmas, and for New Year's Eve, and he was like, come on, man, let's get up out of here. Told all the police, put up the barricades, let them have it. And it was just like complete mayhem, right? And now you go back and like none of that is there. But I remember sitting in those ward meetings in the first floor of Marshall Field Gardens. And we would be sitting in there, and it would be 50, 75, 100 precinct captains sitting in the room. And Mr. White and the alderman and Ken and Darlena and even myself as the president of the 27th Ward Young Democrats would be sitting in that room in the middle of the projects, and all down Cleveland, the street would be all blocked up because all of us would be double parked in front of Marshall Field Gardens. And I remember looking around the room, and I see the people that were kids, that were children, that were babies, that are now grown, hedge fund managers and economic, and their parents came from the projects, and now you looking at them and you saying, damn. And so I can't trip on Mr. White. I can't. I mean, I have, and I don't always like the political decisions that he's made, but I look around, I think about all those people that I was in the room with that stuck with it through all those years, whose lives, whose grandfathers was tier 2 precinct captains who delivered the projects, and there was all types of patronage and all types of stuff, and they was the North Side black people that was under 42 with George Dunn, and all of these things that we all like kind of dog now. But I think about those people when I think about Dolph and all of them, and now they got grandkids and great-grandkids who now are off to college or off living in better places. And I got to give the man his props. And so, no, I wasn't there last night, Riis. I was not there last night. Because in the continuance of what I kind of learned there, I had to be for my son. And not only there for my son, but for myself. Because yesterday, it was watching the culmination of all those years of traveling to games and watching and seeing his confidence on the court and seeing him bond with a whole new group of people, new teammates who are starting to accept him as a teammate. And it's like they're starting to see camaraderie and building together. Hey, man, shout out to Holy Trinity for welcoming us to the family. And yesterday when I showed up to the game, all the mamas was like, hold on, we got your seat right here. Because, you know, I am the heckler in chief. You know, I be when it's time for the other, and I be like, what kind of Riis?
I thought that just me because I was at my daughter. You know, even though she ain't playing, but you know she cheers. So so like the little team that she like go to. You know, I'm rooting for they boys. You know, to like win. So when the other team be at the free throw line, I was like, "Am I wrong for saying miss it because it's a
I be
game?
Riis.
Like,
I be
I was like, am I wrong for saying that to the
Riis,
kids?
the kids be looking at you like, I be like, what? Be quiet when he shoots the right. Be quiet when he shoots the free throw. He at the opposing gym. What is y'all talking about, Riis? Whatever happened to?
Yeah,
right? Don't nobody stomp the bleachers. Don't nobody like. Come on, man. I be like, look. I had to look. I'm like the dad sitting in the middle. Like yesterday, I feel like they was like, what's she doing here? Carrie came to the game. I don't say like they was cool, but it's like, we got your seat right here. Cause they cover me when I do all the bad stuff. They be like, they all sit around so I could be like, cause they scared to say it. But I be airball. But anyway, shout out to the Holy Trinity boys and girls basketball team. Shout out to the band. Shout out to everybody. And it was crazy because I didn't realize how many listen to the show. So, Riis, I'm going to start telling everybody because, I be talking about Bud. But all the other guys be in the car with their mamas listening. So, shout out to all the players. Man, yesterday, man, I'm 32, Riis. Some of these kids, man, I was calling them Big Country. They said I can't call them Big Country. Got to call them Big Money. But I was thinking about Big Country, Robert Trailer Tractor. Right? Like, man, but it's okay. I be renaming everybody on the team. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Joe. So shout out to the Holy Trinity basketball team. They don't get in the paper or nothing, but they are 7-2. Right?
Oh,
hey, Joe.
Okay.
Hey.
What were they last year?
I'm not sure what they were last year, but stay 7-2 this year, and they are. We beat Noble today. We play Chicago Hope.
So you know you got a man there, but I don't know if it's okay. But you're gonna have to let the whole den know when MJ got a game, so we can all come. I don't know if it's gonna mess them up.
No. I gotta let them settle on it. I've been thinking about that. Right? It's like yesterday, man. Riis, yesterday he was cold, but the coach said shoot, keep shooting, and it's like they all in and out. I feel like as soon as he get his like true feel of the you dig, like because it's like Riis, he don't be like. Now when they say shoot, he be. But yesterday we beat Noble Street by like 35. I was like, they was up. I was like, why is the clock stopping? Why? I mean, why y'all ain't stopping the clock? I was trying to get the 100, man. All right, y'all. What else? Oh, did you see this? Remember the Ella French, the officer that got shot by the guys? They pulled over and she shot. Remember, it was the two brothers. We couldn't tell if they was black or not.
Oh, yeah. And then one ran.
And his boyfriend bought the gun.
How you know it was his boyfriend?
Riis, they said it in the paper. They was like, it was his boyfriend in Indiana. Remember? They called him. They was like, where you get the gun? And it was like the boy that he was dating in Indiana. So the boy who bought the gun, who was his boyfriend in Indiana, he didn't shoot it. He got 2.5 years. They said that's bogus, though. They said he should have got more because he was the straw purchaser. $8 million goes to the near South High School. Riis, near South. There you go. Near South High School.
What's that school look like? Where's that located at?
Remember, that's on the old Ickies.
Yeah, I already know.
In old Chinatown, but it's not in well, Chinatown is now across underneath the viaducts. Chinatown is now coming across the viaduct. What is that? Is that Ida B. Wells? Is it what's right here? Cause this all turning into Chinese now. Asian, excuse me.
I don't even know what's right there.
What's on is it Stayway? Stayway Gardens? Is that what it is? So I feel like whatever that is right there, and I feel like it might be Stayway Gardens, that's turning Asian. That's why every time you leave up out of here, Riis, it'd be a line of... Don't come by here on a Saturday, Joe. It ain't the Ickies. The school is on the Ickies.
Definitely be it.
The Hilliard Homes, is it on 20... What's on 29th and State? I feel like that's like Stayway Gardens or something.
Oh, the little apartment, you know.
Right. The low, they was like the... But you know,
like the little high rise.
It wasn't the high rise. That was the Ickies down there. But somebody know. So y'all tell me. Y'all let me know what it is. Okay. What else? Cryptocurrency hits Chewy. They keep talking about Chewy and the crypto guy. Riis, that crypto guy gonna get a lot of people in trouble, Joe. Sam Bankman-Fried. And now Dearborn Courts. Okay. So Riis. Samuel Bankman-Fried done bankrupted the whole crypto stuff. And you know what we can't even talk about? Can't even talk about it.
Why not?
Because they'll call me anti-something. It's crazy, man. It's like all types of craziness going on. And they said he is going to the Bahamas jail. Like they said in the Bahamas jail, it's terrible. They said it's got rat infestations and you got to take you got to use a bucket. They don't flush. You got a bucket. That's kind of deep, man.
Very. Yeah, very deep.
You know they ain't good. But you know they was terrible conditions. He stole, Riis, why is it that you can go to hell jail for like $500 worth of theft, but you can steal billions and you get a country club? I don't understand that.
Federal crime. Federal, that's what they said. If you're going to do something, then do it fed.
It's a difference, though, between, because the fed that Larry Hoover in, ain't nobody going to that. That Chief Malik at, ain't nobody going to that. That fed, don't nobody want to go there. That's Supermax. Man, Joe. And then, Riis, do you know who this DJ Steven Twitch boss was off of Ellen?
Not at all.
He was the DJ who died off of Ellen. People was all on the internet yesterday. I never seen the Ellen show.
Really, it's a pretty good show. What's wrong with Ellen? What's wrong with Ellen? I don't turn to it, but the times that is on, I don't say turn it off. I think it's a pretty decent show.
The Ellen show?
Yeah, it's funny. Like it's like
I thought it was canceled.
Well, I don't know if it is or not, but I know that the times I have ran up on it and like seen it or like it's been on, like I've been somewhere and it was on, like I've enjoyed every episode I've ever seen. Like I don't like watch it on demand, but I think it's.
I never seen Ellen. I stopped watching after Jenny Jones.
Jenny Jones and Ricky Lake. And
I never watched Ricky Lake, but Jenny Jones, you know I watched Jenny Jones because Damon was on it. Jenny Jones, Man, I remember when Jenny Jones was in Chicago, people was Jenny Jones making people, and Riis, it just went off the chain. Do y'all remember Phil Donahue? Do you remember the Phil Donahue show?
No.
Riis, you don't? Okay. You don't remember Phil Donahue? That was right here. Does anybody remember Phil Donahue? Like, the Phil Donahue was like the first talk show. Like, black moms my mom used to watch Phil Donahue every day at like 3 o'clock on Channel 5 or Channel 2. I can't remember if it was 2 or 5. Man, Phil Donahue, the white-haired dude, he was the first talk show host. He was before Oprah. You know Oprah was from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
But he was before her. Dog, he was the first one. He was before Geraldo. Remember Geraldo?
Yep.
Man, I remember when Geraldo got slapped. Remember when dude got slapped? Remember when Jesse the Body Ventura slapped old boy on 2020? You ain't see that. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
No,
He slapped him. He said, is wrestling real? He said, is this real? No, he said, they was doing the interview, and he said, is wrestling real? And dude said, is wrestling real? Riis, he slapped him on camera. Is this real?
That was staged.
No, Riis, it was not staged. Dude was beat up. It was Riis. And then Phil Donahue was the first time we saw the neo-Nazis on TV, and they threw a chair. They got it was like real neo-Nazis and real people. That's when the old man, the black civil rights guy got into a fight on TV, bro. It was crazy. Yeah, I can't believe y'all don't know Phil Donahue. Y'all Riis don't know Phil Donahue. What kind of show am I doing? I got it. Riis, what's the first? Did your mom ever watch game shows?
Yeah, we watched all the game with.
So, did you watch Price is Right?
Price is Right.
I hated Price is Right. I liked it, but I did it. What else did you watch? Did you watch Joker's Wild?
Occasionally.
What was the card game? What was the
But I used to watch all of them because it used to be a whole bunch of them. It used to be the one where you used to sit and say something, then like a person say like a word back to you, like a little pyramid game.
Oh, the pyramid. I didn't like pyramid. Now I like it. You're right. It was John Stossel. John Stossel got slapped. It wasn't. It was not Geraldo. John Stossel had a mustache and hair like that, but he sure did get slapped. Okay, so Riis, wait, Joker's Wild. Do you remember Babe Winkleman?
No.
Richard, did you watch Family Feud?
Family Feud.
Richard Dawson when he used to kiss all the ladies on the mouth?
Yep, I watched that. I watched, what else I used to watch? Jeopardy. Oh, yeah, I was a Wheel of Fortune every day.
I hate Wheel of Fortune, and we watch it every day.
At 6:30, yep.
You know why, though? You know why you watch Wheel of Fortune?
Why?
Because you was watching the news. It's called the lead-in. Right. So you just never change from the news, and I hate Wheel of Fortune, and every day we sitting there watching. Do you see how far they keep pulling the camera back from Vanna now?
Age, man, age.
Yeah, man. Remember Vanna White used to be on all the covers. Now the camera, you can't even barely see Vanna now. It just be her silhouette, and the camera be way, way, way back. Man, Riis, I just feel like so much time has passed. So many things, so many people grew up. I don't even know, and that ain't even on the page. It's just old TV, man. Remember when we only had 4 channels and then channel 44?
No, I was born with cable.
Riis, that's your problem.
Yeah,
your parents didn't ever make you sit there and watch.
No. Listen, I didn't ever say I had cable. I'm just saying when I was around. I mean, I did grow up with the TV that had 2 different knobs. You know how one of them couldn't get like the other. You had
UHF and VHF. 2, 5, 7, 9, 11 was up there. Then you had to turn to U.
Yeah.
And then you got channel 32. Then you got channel 44. Then you got 60. Then you got 66.
Why it was all those numbers if you knew it wasn't no channels right there. Like I never understood that. Like.
Oh yeah, man. Who said Mort Downey? Oh, Mort Downey was Mort Down. See, that's all right. I gotta stop. All right, let's go, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Let's quit this real quick. We got to get back to the business. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show. My man, DJ Riis Thriller. We'll be back after traffic news and the weather.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
I'm so glad that the Lord I must say, every day, he's making a way. Ooh, keep on blessing me. Blessed in the city, blessed in the field, even when you come and go. I'm so glad that the Lord y'all, I must say, in spite of, he just keep on, yeah, keep on blessing me. Oh, keep on blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. In spite of me, he keeps on blessing me. Blessing me. I don't deserve it. He keeps on blessing me. Blessing me. All the time. He keeps on blessing me. Blessing me. Lord, we need you to. Lord, we need you to. Lord, we need you to. Can't make it unless you. We need you to stop it. Come on and stop it. Do it every day, every hour. Come on and do it. Do it for us now. Somebody in a hospital, somebody down, don't feel too well, but bless us now. In the name of Jesus. Oh. Grandmama said, please, oh, please, yeah, oh, please, yeah, keep on blessing, keep on blessing me, while I'm driving the car, while I'm sweeping the floor, while I'm cooking dinner, taking the kids to school, walking down the street, walking through the grocery store. Keep on blessing me. Anywhere that I stand, anywhere that I stand, keep on blessing me. In the name of Jesus, thou son of David, keep on blessing me. Have mercy, oh God. Please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop. When I'm disobedient, please don't ever stop. When I go against your will, please don't ever stop. When I turn away side, please don't ever stop. Oh, please, Lord, please, Lord, please, please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop. Not just for me, but don't stop. Don't stop blessing my family. Don't stop blessing my friends. Even bless my enemies. Oh, please. Yeah, please.
Back to Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't toast no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Mays and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve wrong.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I am your host, Mays Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler on the ones and twos, and DJ Riis the Ruler. Dang it. How you feeling today, man? You good? I'm good too, man.
Yeah, man.
Riis, please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop. Please don't. Please.
Lord, he was praying. He was praying for his enemies.
I pray for them all, man. I'm gonna pray for my enemies because when I get on the battlefield, Lord, I'm gonna have no mercy. So I pray that you take good care of them. No, I'm just playing, yo. I was thinking about. So, Riis, yesterday, first of all, let me back up. I was looking around. There's a lot that has happened yesterday in City Council. And one of the things that happened yesterday in City Council, and it's funny because Mayor Lightfoot, and you're going to hear about it in the press conference. But Riis, one of the biggest things that happened in City Council yesterday was the passage of the transportation TIF district downtown that would fund the expansion of the Red Line. And Riis, I'm not a big user of public transportation. Maybe if I'm going to a Cubs game, hurts to say that, but if I'm going to the Cubs game, or if I get stuck on the wrong side of the tracks without a golf cart, I may take the CTA, take the L from 55th back to 39th. So I could get to my car, depending on where I parked or whatever. But the reality is, Riis, as it relates to take a CTA bus, I can't tell you that I have. As a matter of fact, I've taken more public transportation in New York City than I have ever in Chicago.
Why is that?
Because I got a car in Chicago. In New York City, and quite frankly, even in New York City, once I figured out before there was Uber and I figured out the neighborhood cab service and car service, Tennille and I would use car service rather than take transportation. Now, public transportation. Now, when we took Milan, Boog, and my mom, we all decided that we were going to take public transportation because we were going to the Barclays Center, and so, it was quick. It was like a shot, and we knew that, but no, I'm not for that. After I saw Warriors, sheesh. No, you ain't got to. And then having all the stories of what has happened to people on the train, getting robbed, getting stolen, getting punched, all that stuff. I just have always said no, right? Then I have a client, pretty wealthy client, who comes into town and brags about the fact that he takes the L from O'Hare to downtown. I'd be like, dog, that is not the red line. You don't brag because you took the L from O'Hare to Full Market. Okay. You want to impress me? Take that mug from Full Market to 95th. But I was thinking about yesterday the mayor being able to claim victory on the red line extension. Now, again, Riis, most of this construction will probably only begin after she's either reelected or there is a new mayor. And then it got me to thinking about, do you remember that article I talked about the Chicago's new white people? So there was an article and it was about the new white people in Chicago, which are not the old, the old white Chicago that we think about is located far away from transit. It's like the places you can't get to with public transportation, because public transportation at one time was seen as a stigma, right? It was seen as only the poor people. So that's why, like, when you go to places like Beverly and Oak Park and all of that, they have a Metro train, which was really the suburban. And right, like, if you pay attention, like, Metro made sure that the white kids that went to school on the South Side had a safe travel path. Like, the kids from Beverly that went to De La Salle could take the Metro. Metro stopped right at 35th, right? There was transportation, but public transportation was looked at as a negative or as the places where the Negroes lived. Now, public transportation is viewed, like, we look at public transportation and be like, I got to get off. White people are now looking at public transportation as what they want in their neighborhood. As they continue into this green economy, as well as just the fact that white folks feel comfortable taking their L's and their public transportation to other places. And so I got to thinking about the extension of the red line. And right now they're positioning it as an equity, as finally equity coming to the South Side. Because for all the years that we knew it, 95th back was for black people, right? Like, realistically, you had Pullman just a little bit, right? But when Roseland and all of those places evacuated white people, the city went all the way to 130th, but they stopped it at 95th, and people considered it racist. But now, Riis, have you seen that the city is now investing in transit-oriented developments? They're called TODs. Because they recognize now that wherever public transportation is, you can attract young white people. And so now I was thinking about Alderman Brookins, who led off the press conference and talked about, and so did, and even Alderman Beal, who does not tend to get along with the mayor, was excited about the fact of the extension of the red line. Riis, they're going to put in 4 new stops. So it stops at 95th. They're going to go to 103rd. What's that, the 10 tray? 111th, 116th, and then 130th, which is Altgeld. Now let it be, am I clear? Isn't Altgeld switching to Latino?
I haven't been there recently.
I haven't been there recently either, but I thought I was hearing that Altgeld is now looking at, or they're starting, remember, that Altgeld, then 103rd, 111th, and 116th, those seem to be Beverly-ish, Beverly, Morgan Park, unless it's going east. And now if it's going east, then it means that they're going to pick up Roseland. But look at the redevelopment of what's happening in Roseland, right? Roseland and Pullman are now bringing in white folks, right? Look at all that redevelopment that's happening over there. And then you look at the artist housing, which is the first step in rebuilding the community. And so I want you to understand that I don't know that this transit-oriented development extension of the Red Line is necessarily to our benefit. So, Riis, I want you to hit the button.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Will the extension of the Red Line help or hurt black people? Open up the phone lines. Give us a call, 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. I don't know that it's coincidental that as black people continue to be pushed out of the city, that now, and that the country is now moving towards transit-oriented developments, that this is to our benefit, long term. Now, don't get it twisted. I definitely think that people that live in those areas need access to public transportation. But Riis, if I find it odd that now that major businesses you think about Alderman Beale and all of the things that are happening in his ward, right? You think about all of the companies that are relocating there, and now all of a sudden, you're starting to see, when you see all the stories of Pullman and what's going on in those areas, you start to recognize that this isn't necessarily to keep us here. It's to attract new pioneers who are willing to live in challenging neighborhoods. I'll never forget about the white ice cream shop owner who was buying places in South Shore 4 years ago, saying that the rent is so cheap right now, I'll buy it and wait until the Obama Center is built, and then I'll sell my white ice cream in your black neighborhood. And so as we think about this, and I really, let me just be clear, I am 100% in agreement that we need to extend it. But I do want us to be open to the concept that while we look at public transportation still as a stigma, white folks are looking at public transportation as a reason to come. It's funny to me because literally my client laughs at me for saying, man, I'm not taking no L. You want me to come pick you up from the airport? Why would I ask you to come to the airport? I'll just take and think about our vision of public transportation. You take it because it's a necessity. Most white folks are taking it for efficiency. Because you can take the L and be home and then jump on your bike and ride your bicycle or your electric motor scooter the last mile home. While we think of getting mugged, robbed, raped, pillaged, stolen on, you got people getting... So it's funny to me because there's two dynamics that are happening, but when I think about those locations, they already took care of Beverly. But remember, white people ain't moving there. Caller, you're on the Mays Jackson Show. Will this help us or hurt us long term? Caller?
Me.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who's this, caller?
Barrett.
It's who?
This is Tori Barrett.
Oh, what's up, Tori?
Barrett.
What's up, Tori? Oh, what's up? It's Tori. Hey, y'all, we got the big dogs calling in this morning. What's going on, family? Talk to me.
Man, two things. One, it's definitely going to help us because folks been trying to get this done forever. So I get what you're saying about the future and white folks might move in, but currently that's predominantly black. So these folks for the next 5-10 years are going to benefit from it because now they got access to transportation. That's one. The second thing I was going to ask you though and I'm just asking, brother.
Go ahead.
And since the mayor has been in office, has she done anything that you agree with?
So let me say this, and I would say that, let me back up. I would say that last week, and this is one of the things I talked about on the morning show, I had an opinion as it related to a lot of the projects and ribbon cuttings versus groundbreakings, and I was pretty adamant about that. But I do recognize that there are some brothers that have benefited from the mayor. I would say people like yourself, people like Cornelius. What's my man? Phil
Beckham.
Phil Beckham. Right. Brothers who we want to see do well because we know will do well by the community. And so I would argue that there is a small group of black people that have done well. And I trust some of them, right? I know you, Tori. So I believe you're going to do right by black folks regardless, right? I think Brother Griggs is doing a great job as it relates to always being responsive. Brothers in the neighborhood tell me that he is, whenever it's a job, he's on top of it. So I trust some of our generation to do right? And I would put you in that category. But I would say that in the grand scheme of things, I don't see I feel like most of this is Johnny come lately in the most cases. And it's like it is, I still cannot get out of my mind funding those attacks on black folks, right? Like, and until we get some sort of resolution to that, I'm not going to say that there's nothing that the mayor has done well, because I would say she's done well by a lot of people that I know that participate in certain groups, right? But I would argue that she has not atoned for the damage that she did to the common black person that has been abused or hurt by her policies. So, yes, I'm sure there are, and I would, and let me also say this, Tori. I've said on numerous occasions that, and I know it's probably difficult for the mayor to, think that she could come here, but even she has the 100% opportunity to come tell us what she's done good and why we have differing opinions, and give her a fair platform to do such. But I don't think I still don't have a clear explanation on Anjanette Young, which, Tori, I see that as any one of our moms. And when I hear that woman thing, it makes me feel a certain way, right? When I think about what happened on the south side of Chicago when the bridges went up and all of those things, I want to understand. And so what I would say is the mayor has an open platform. You have an open platform. Any of her surrogates have an open platform to share, to say, to agree, to disagree in a respectful manner. And I'll keep that, and that's a straight up promise. Like, you can literally say that you, as Tory Barrett, because we trust you, because I trust you, I'll give her a platform. And if there's something that I'm missing, please feel free to get me correct on it.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And let me be clear, too. I am not calling on behalf of the mayor of the city of Chicago.
Come on now, y'all got to be. I got you on that. But
But no, a couple of things. One, I think you're absolutely correct. She needs to get out there and tell her story. She hasn't been doing that, and I don't know why. Two, I agree with everything you said, Anjanette Young, and the opening of the closing of the bridges. All of that I agree 100%. And I wish she would come on and explain herself of why she did it. But the last thing I'll say is this whole Invest Southwest. I'm telling you, bro, I've been around the administrations for the last at least 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the last administration. And none of these administrations have put the kind of money she's putting in on the south or west side. Now, there have been ceremonial groundbreakings, you know what I'm saying, where folks haven't been able to actually break ground, but that's on the development team. That's not on the city. And so, we had a ceremonial groundbreaking, but we're actually closing our deal on the 27th. So we'll have shovels in the ground. Cornelius is my contractor, and we'll be building on 79th Street before the end of the year. And so, it's really up to the development team. The only thing I'm saying is that in the history of the city, no other mayor has put this type of investment in our community. That's it. That's all. Other than that, all the other stuff, 100% she needs to come on and be transparent of why she did what she did. But if she's not reelected, I don't think we'll continue to see the type of development that we're seeing in our community.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, Tori, you always have a platform. You can always pick up the phone. I appreciate you. Tell Lil Tori I said I see him rocking that basketball, man. I see him doing his thing, and we want tickets. We want tickets, man. We want tickets. But that's my man, Tori Barrett.
Sure.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying for sure, man. He just walked out to walk the dog too. But just so you know, man, he committed to Mount Carmel last week, so he'll be playing for them next year.
Oh Lord, man, you know what? How they keep getting all the hey man. We need him to come to Holy Trinity, man. I get him the green light, dog. He can come to Holy Trinity. Look, I'm recruiting hard now. I bring him to Holy Trinity, dog. We won't be there, so he had a green light. He'll be the king of the world. He can win the state with us, man. But hey, y'all, that's Tori Barrett. You also check out his new he got a great little restaurant. I did it. He has a great restaurant and establishment, the Park Supper Club on 55th. He is also the developer of some of these transportation developments. So we're gonna have to sit down and we're gonna have to talk to him. Yo, but it's the Maze Jackson Show. We got anybody else on the line? Will these transit or will the extension of the red line? And one of the things that he said that I wanted to point out is he said these people will do good for the next 5-7 years, right? And my challenge is, Riis, is that's how I have the benefit of looking at 5 to 7 years and realizing that that's a snapshot, and you look up and it's 10 and it's 20 gone before you know it, and you look around. Riis, I remember I still got pictures of the first time they blew up the projects and imploded it, and we all came out there and cleared. And now you look at that was 1 year, and now that was in 1990 something. Now, Riis, is 2023, and look at the different city that we have. And I think of all the places where black people, like I got this hoodie on, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but right? Like, remember we just saw that houses in Chatham are now going for 300 and something thousand, and it's white folks driving the prices up in what used to be our homeland. I just want y'all to understand that's what I'm talking about. But I appreciate that conversation. Shout out to Tori, too, for calling in. All right, caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What's up?
Shalom. You do got the heavyweights calling in. Old Tori.
Israel, what's up, King
Tori,
Israel?
Calling in with a disclaimer, man. I ain't moved to New York. I just heard you say something about New York. I was teasing you, man. I ain't gonna never lie to you. I
was trying to tell you to come on back to give me that sky, because you keep taking pictures at that building. Come back with me a sky dweller, dog. I need a sky dweller. Once I get that sky dweller, I'm out here. I'm gone. Go ahead, King Israel. What's up, brother?
I was out to sit down with Tori, and they talking about Sunday night show. I sat down with him and David Block and GMA. Not yet. I got sat down with Corey. GMA and all them, it's looking good too, like they said about them projects, but it ain't hit the ground yet, so that's a whole nother subject. But going back, I was at the city council meeting yesterday. They did pass that money. I don't think it's gonna help. I mean, the construction don't never help us. But I was talking to one of the aldermen, and I was like, man, that's 3,600 million they finna spend that. Can we make a few new millionaires out the deal?
That's
what they're gonna.
Israel King, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, and like,
I already know.
See, like, and I ain't even like. Here's my thing, right? And I got much love for Tori. I'm very glad that Cornelius came last week, and I don't mean to be name checking these people, but I'm going to just in the space that has to be dialogue, right? And we can't let them decide for us who are the black people that are the black people. And quite frankly, in my challenge is they keep picking from a certain pile because and we understand that. And I don't really want to put the whole you dig out there right now. That's not my point.
You ain't got to put it out there. Let's do that meeting. I mean, if you don't call it, I'll call it. They know we ain't together from the streets to the suites, man. You million man on 27 Ward. I used to harass me because I couldn't work in 27 Ward.
You had to hire somebody from 27. Go ahead. Tell the truth, man.
I couldn't even make payroll, man. We ain't going to start there. But I'm just saying, that's why them chumps came in here, because they know we ain't together, them Italians. You know he's been working with them and working, and soon as they get a chance to knock his socks off, you see they did. I was trying to highlight him yesterday about that, but I let it know But I would love to bring you see, I sent that text message out. Ain't none of y'all ought to respond, but it's all good.
Hey, Riis.
You know what I'm saying?
King. This is what you got to do when you start
Yes,
sending
sir.
out these group texts, right? Some kind of way you got to identify. Bro, I'm not just finna start sending blind texts to people that I don't know that are on and then the last 3 times that you done did it, man, you done got these psycho people. Like, I look up, if I see your name, no, check it out, though. If I see your name on a text string, I'm going to assume that you vetted everybody, right? But when I don't know who the people are and it's 2 names that I recognize, I'm not talking. I'm not texting. I'm not putting my stuff out there. And until you say, hey, fam, let's sit in the room and let's all agree to do whatever, like, and you can say, this is who I'm bringing, and we can agree at that point. But throwing us in a text, and then next thing, somebody I'm texting that's like really got my number, that like Samir is on my text string, and I'm talking, and I don't even know
they talk about now. They say less. I hear you, family member, but it's something got to be done. Anytime they came at this man, that's most like I said, I was looking at the damn city council. I'm like, look at all these damn. There's gonna be even more new people come January, February. So if the streets don't come together, man, them people gonna keep running us over because them special Negroes think they better, but them people showing them you like they show Oprah or Jay-Z. You still in.
You're right.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you. Put it on Facebook. I'm right. Say the King Israel is
right. King Israel is right. There you go. See, King Israel right. I'm a humble man. Like, I can put my ego in check, right? But it's like we gotta. Yeah, man, I could put my ego in check, without a doubt. But it's like, Femo, y'all can't be like, okay, well, Maze is crazy. When you see the mayor, you got to be like, nah, Maze ain't crazy. He talking real spit. So if you got her ear, she can't tell you that which black men can come to the room when she want black men, and she say, cut that Negro off. Y'all can't be like, okay, I'm going to cut him off, and then say, okay, I'm going to respect that. Like, if we going to be honest and we going to be men, then let's be men on the space of, like, fam, dude is not a liar. He is not crazy. The mayor owe us some explanations. And it's like, the challenge for me with anybody caping is I love the fact, it's easy for me to forget. That's why I'm finna quit this show. So I can easily be like, let me push Anjanette to the side. Let me push all of the other issues to the side. Let me push the assault of black people by Latinos that were funded to the side. Let me push that to the side and let me focus on this. I'm going to be able to do that when I don't talk about black issues. When I am able to say that my job is to get money and to get the bag, and I'm going to help you economically, then I'll be able to say that. But it's very difficult for me to dismiss those things. Like, family, that should be a reason that Tories and all of those people press and should be able to press and then should be able to spread. Right? I shouldn't be having to argue for advertising dollars. Right? There shouldn't be a black organization that has black businesses that we all know that every one of them be like, man, you right, the stuff you be saying, and quite frankly, we know we know people benefit from it. My man just called and said, I'm the answer to what's in it for the black people. No shade. But if that's the answer, then what's your obligation? And I'm not just saying, and it ain't always just to the guys. Because the issue is, let me take care of the guys, and then the guys be like, shut Maze up. Not saying that that's my man, them, but understand the cycle. It's like there has to be a barking dog that says this stuff ain't sweet. The reason that it keeps moving is because it used to be the 6 people said they got... The money did get invested, you just didn't see it. And quite frankly, the challenge is we don't necessarily see it even with the new people. It shouldn't be a mystery. If you know you putting it down for the people, right? And you know I'm gonna get up every morning and be like, this is what's not happening for the people. Respect the game and be like, fam, here go the project. This is what the deal is. These the people that we know. But it can't be that the answer is me and now that's it for everybody. When anybody is in trouble, black, guess what they can count on? No black ropes coming to the lynching. Now, I'm going to press you when you ain't in trouble, but Lord help you if you get in trouble. Imagine waking up and we kicking ass. Yeah, let me tell you about the one time that when we gave the mayor, she told us we couldn't, right? We all know. So, let's just be clear. I have been very respectful of the game. And for as much as I talk, there is much that I do not share. There is much that I know, much that that probably could be done. But alas, we just scratched the surface. Has the mayor done anything that I like? Yeah, probably. But the bad certainly outweighs the good right now. Imagine, just imagine, asking me if the mayor has done anything good and I'm paying to broadcast this show from a point where I was only trying to protect our people from a physical assault that was happening. It's okay. And everybody has greenlit that and been like, oh, well, I didn't see that. I didn't know that happened. Riis, if I forget who gonna talk about it right now, we would be talking about, can you play that lady for me real quick? Can you just play it just because?
And I watched that video.
Turn it up.
You need to tell me what you're looking for. What are you looking for? Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter was handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing. Oh my God, this cannot be right. How is this legal?
Because the COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this.
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
You have the wrong place. You got the wrong house. You got the wrong house.
We will and we must continue to say her name.
So she said we must continue to say her name. Y'all tell me she got paid, so shut the hell up. Man, she got her money. And Junior, I'm with you. Most people don't, like the average voter don't care. And I'm cool with that. But don't tell me I don't deserve an explanation, regardless of what she got paid. I want to know what happens when it's my mom. When it's your mom. You tell me to forget about it because most people don't care. I don't. In May, I'm not gonna care about Laquan McDonald's. I'm gonna be able to find you a way to explain it. I'm not gonna care about Dante Servants. I'm going to find a way to forget all of that and focus on the economics. But until I leave this space, my brothers, yes, she has done some things good. I'm sure. But does it outweigh that woman for me? I got to understand what the mentality was there. And it's historic, the money that she's investing in now. Tell me who are the beneficiaries, right? And then when you tell me who the beneficiaries are, then I want to know who are the other beneficiaries of the beneficiaries. See, if you present yourself as the answer to what's in it for the black people, then you got to answer it. We saw 4 people, 5. That's how it starts all the time. Now, them 4 or 5 people got to be accountable to the people. So just tell me. I'll share it. Everybody has an opportunity to answer the question. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I want to talk about it's not 5 or 7 years, guys. That's the thing I got to be clear. It's not the 5 or 7 year plan. And I think that's how we get caught up oftentimes. We say 5, 7 years, and it's really a 30-year plan. Right? 5 to 7 years, the 5 to 7 years is the time that it takes to build it. Right? Then it takes 3 to 5 more years for the people to find it. For the white people to be presented it, for it to not be now it's not called it. How long did it take for the South Loop to become near South? Right? It's like, and that is the key. If I can play the 5 to 7 year game, if I can get you to play 5 to 7 when I'm playing 30, and that's not a diss to my brother. That is, damn it, I just saw this whole cycle just happen. And you can't tell, like, I understand the short term, like, look, I understand the building, the fees that you'll get for building, the developer fee, the long-term revenue on the rental property, etc. Whether you get, if you get federal money and you have to keep it 30 years and it has to stay affordable, I get all of that. But it's the same thing. It's those 30-year maturations that once that 30 years is up and it's now a market rate property and you can now resell it and redevelop it. And now, like you saw with Pangea, right? The white guys just said, okay, we understood the market, we bought it, and now we're about to take it over. As the South Side now leaves from being slum area or from downgraded low to the Obama area. That's not a 5 year. How long does it take to build the Obama Center? 5 to 7 years? Yes. We will have 5 to 7 years of things, but you will see that there's 30 years that it takes to transform, and you are at the crux of it. So no, I'm not tripping on it. And if our understanding is that we're building this on a 5 to 7 year plan, right? That's a developer. That's not the community. I'm not mad. But I am saying that if you're going to sell it to me, if you're going to tell me that she's answered what's in it for the black people, then come show me. Don't get mad when I ask the questions. They always tell us the short-term questions. They always tell us how many jobs it's going to be. So, like when I was watching a press conference yesterday, it was labor was celebrating the extension of the red line. Why was they celebrating? Because they know that they got iron workers from Indiana that's going to be laying them tracks. Yeah, we'll have some workers there, but who's managing our cut? Huh. All right, y'all. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Tell me, can somebody please call me and tell me what I missed on the mayor? And am I too focused on the negative? Like, I don't know, man. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Let's take a quick break. I know we done went past our whole, you dig. But it is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis. We'll be back. I'd love to talk to the mayor. I'd love for the mayor to tell us exactly what she's done for black people. Because I hear you on the Invest Southwest, so you got 5. You can give me 5 people. Which, again, construction is not where money. How many lawyers did we get? How many accountants did we get? How many PR firms did we get? Just think, there was a white firm that was hired to market Black Christmas. This is this mayor. I told you we are over. Our argument is always in the construction arena, which is not where we have the most business. It's not. And developers is not where the business is for us. That's not where we get our biggest economic stretch. And because we understand that, and because it's only 4 or 5 of them, all our eggs are in that basket. And so I am leaving the morning show. So I could do just that. So I cannot think about Engineer Young. And I could say that, she got paid. Man, it was worth it. Essentially, her dignity was worth the $2 million she got. Shoot, I wish somebody would have broken my house, right? That's what I'm supposed to say. I know. I'm supposed to forget that y'all was screaming, asking. I got to forget that Roberto Sepulveda had to call me and say, man, if you need to help get people to the grocery store or get them out of our houses, we got people organized. I got to forget that. I got to forget that I saw on TV that the mayor of finance told that Ray Lopez he was full of shit for the same thing that y'all was calling me for. I got to forget that I sit in this room because I talked about it. I gotta forget that everybody sees me at the galas and is like, I'm cool, but we'll let you drown, watch you drown. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest Black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our 2 locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
Steve Stanton.
I've never been lucky at love, no never. I've never been good at holding on. A heart broken so many 20-carat diamond ring. Baby, baby. Alright. Woo. I'm looking for a lover for me. Looking for a lover. Could it be you? And it's all. Baby, it's alright. Looking for forever for me. I'm looking for forever. For me. For me. Hey. I'm looking for a lover for me. I'm looking, still looking. And it's alright. Alright. Looking for forever for forever. For me.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the ruler in the ones and twos. Riis, I forgot what we was talking about when we went on the break. We was talking about who? Oh, we was talking about the transit red line. I hate when I get caught up. I was thinking that perhaps it wasn't from. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the crying maze. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. Ooh. Hold on. It's maze at MACJC. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Did y'all see my Chicago News Weekly cover? I made it. Anyway, Riis. The other big thing that happened yesterday at City Council was the zoning for the casino passed. In Riis, if you recall, Alderman Burnett had said that he wasn't going to vote for it if they didn't give him a plan. But apparently they gave him a plan. And yesterday, the casino passed the City Council. Now, it was interesting as I was watching this as it passed. First of all, Riis, I got to say that I do feel like the council passing this zoning does not guarantee that we're going to get a casino. Riis, I got to be honest with you. I would be sorely disappointed politically in Rep. Buckner, and Chuy Garcia if they allowed the mayor to pass the casino to pass the casino before the election. Why, Riis? Because now the city has done everything that it needs to do. And it goes to the state. Now, Riis, if I am a member of the Illinois Gaming Board, or if I am the executive director of the Illinois Gaming Board, or if I am the governor of the state of Illinois, why, Riis, would I allow the current mayor, who I am not supporting, to win on my battlefield? So, respectfully to Cam Buckner, as a legislator, the casino until after May. Now, I know people would say that that's not fair, but that's politics. That's smart politics. Riis, all the people that now need everything that the city needs right now is at the state house level, where Cam Buckner, State Representative Cam Buckner, should be able to marshal his colleagues and say, hey, yo, family. What's the matter? We okay? Should be able to marshal out his colleagues and say, y'all can't pass this. knowing that this could hurt my mayoral chances. Now, he's not polling very well, but the least thing that he can do is give the mayor a victory lap. Now, you also think about Chuy Garcia, who has a significant contingent of members in Springfield as well, who would also leverage who, Riis? The governor. Because I think that the governor has got his finger on the scale for Chuy Garcia. We heard Alderman Beal say yesterday in the meeting that all of this is not happening because we still haven't approved it, hasn't been approved by the gaming board. But for the mayor, she needs this to be done so that she can say that she did her job and then try and blame it on the state for not moving fast enough. But Riis, as you are going to see in this press conference that we are going to play in the next hour, the mayor seems to be defeated to me. And it puts that crying commercial in perspective. So, Riis, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I am going to play the mayor's press conference for you. And we're going to break it down on air as we listen to some of the key points. But I really think it's important for you all to pay attention to this press conference. So look, Riis, let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back after these messages.
The Mays Jackson Show will be back after this break. Mays Jackson.
Sometimes when you're very comfortable with white folks can convince you of how black people got it messed up, how we don't understand the real business. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm telling you, I've been there. So you sit around, you be around people, and they be like, man, they don't understand the complexity. If anybody understands the complexities of moving weed, it's black people. Like, I'll never forget when I went up to the white guys when they was trying to figure out how they was gonna navigate around us. And Riis, they had this whole book about cannabis, and they had written it in this nice, pretty book that was bound, and they passed it out, and it was like they were legitimizing. I was like, dog, this is literally a manual on how to sell weed. Didn't we invent 3 for 10?
Stop playing with me, Smokey.
And we're 0 out of 200 in the state of Illinois with the most black elected officials.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. Oh, you know my name. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Focus on your mission and get to your bag. Get to your bag. Push the issue you got. And they say you get it, your haters get mad. Focus on your mission and get to your bag. Get to your bag. Push your issue you got.
Back to the Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to Senate. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the rule on the ones and twos. Riis, did you hear about Monique? You hear what she said?
What you say?
Monique be out here tripping. She said, women let your man have a side chick. Riis, don't start. This ain't week 304 Wednesday. I was like, that woman is tripping.
Pretty smart to me. But all right.
Riis, you tripping. Continuing in my man theme this week. I just came across this post, and then we're going to get into the mayor's race a little bit. We're going to get into the press conference yesterday. But this is from my man, Ahmed Islam, who has said it's a repost from Rick Bell. All right? He said, You'd be surprised how many times a man sits in his car, on his bed, in the bathroom, in the living room, and holds his tears because he's so stressed or lost or confused or hurt or ready to give up. But when he shows his face again, he looks perfectly fine, unbothered, and he still manages to smile and go about his business like nothing happened. Men are some of the most resilient, overlooked, and in the mind underappreciated to go through so much. Can I speak to your spirit for a second? You are the glue that holds everything and everyone together. Your very presence is power. When you speak, it resonates, and yet your silence is deafening. In all that you go through as you fight for not only you, but those who are, but for not only for who you are, but for who you are striving to be, just know I see you. If you're a man and you're reading this, I just want to say I love you and I appreciate you. When you can't win the day, just keep winning the moment and know that I see you. It starts from the inside out. I thought that was important to read. I feel a certain way. I've been on this thing, and you know what that's in reference to, Riis? I think that's in reference to that DJ who passed away, who like everybody be like, not passed away, but he took his life. He committed suicide apparently. And I was just thinking like the whole debate about the barbershop and just all of the things, and I was just thinking like, man, bro, I realized that men, especially black men, ain't the most loved and respected in the world. And I do think it's important. I thought that post was important just because I do think that everybody just think you supposed to. Right? It's like you just supposed to. And most men do it. They just do what they supposed to. Regardless of their feelings, their concerns, their whatever, they do what they're supposed to. And I get a little bit frustrated sometimes with a lot of the negativity. Like I really took that barbershop conversation to heart. There's an entitlement that people feel like they have to black males' mental health. As in a lot of cases, no one really concerns themselves with that. It's like you gotta be for everybody. And then after you figure out everybody else, then you got to figure out yourself. Sometimes you just put your head down and you go. And so, not to trip. It's not a shade. There's no need for nobody, women, to be like, y'all ain't da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Just know that, man, there are men that are, have some challenges. It's tough being a man sometimes, especially if you're trying to be a responsible, strong man who takes the responsibility. And the more responsibility that you assume, the more it's taken for granted. Because they always know you're going to be solid. And so, just for the men who are out there who sometimes feel away, and nobody really cares, we do. It's like we might have to have a men day. Right, I remember black people don't commit suicide. I remember we used to say that too. That's a white people thing. But I would tell you that the pressure mounts on brothers, and especially for brothers that have not checked out or have not been like, you know what, it ain't nothing I could do. So just know that even this man who appeared to have the world at his fingers, executive producer for the Ellen Show. That's a dream. Co-executive producer. Just you are seen, you are heard. That's all I gotta say. All right, Riis, I want to do an analysis. So let me can I tell you something? You know the last time the mayor had a press conference, Riis? You know why? The last time the mayor had a press conference, Riis, was November 18th. We might have talked about that press conference too. But I think that, and the mayor yesterday announced that after yesterday's press conference, that she would have no more press availabilities until next year. So that means for twice in 60 days, she's going to have spoken to the media going into a mayor's race. Riis, this is the time when she's supposed to want to be in front of the media because she's supposed to be able to tell everything. And remember we talked about paid media and earned media, and the mayor has an advantage built in. The mayor has lost her advantage. And I just want to play this press conference from yesterday because I think it's important for us to check it out. So let's do this. I'm going to play, and we're going to pause, and we'll just do our thing. Ready? Wait.
Well, what is it in?
Oh, hold on. It's on my computer. That means that I had something somewhere that's talking, right? Because you flipped over and it was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let me figure out which one it is. Let's turn that one on. We're going to keep that one. I don't want no problems. Baby, we can solve them.
We good now.
We under pressure. All right, here we go, Riis. This is the mayor's press conference from yesterday. Kind of different swag, but let's play it, and I'll stop when we go. Ready? Here we go.
If we hadn't passed it today, we would have been looking at years and years longer. So this was timely, it's important, and our hope is then it opens up the next phase of funding. So some of the initial planning and design work has already been done. This will give us the opportunity to accelerate and finish that work. And our hope is then later this coming spring, we'll receive good word from the Department of Transportation that they're bought into the proposal that we put forward to them. And then my hope is construction will start as soon thereafter as possible. President Carter, you want to provide more details?
Sure. I think the mayor was pretty accurate in her summary.
Listen.
What this vote did today is give me the commitment that I need to now get the federal funding. It's my expectation that those conversations will start up at the first of the year. What we are looking to accomplish is to be put into the president's budget for 2024, which will be announced near the end of next year, with the expectation that we will get the funding commitment shortly thereafter.
Listen.
We have already begun the procurement process for the design build of this particular project.
Did you hear that? So they did not have the project approved. They just got the money. And he says, listen.
Sometime mid next year. And that will begin the process for moving towards the building of this particular project. The key here has been getting the commitment. The federal government won't consider giving me a dime until I can show that we have skin in the game. And so getting this commitment allows me.
I got to say this too. It bothers me when people are using public money and they act like it's them. Like, you're not a millionaire. You're not a billionaire. So when you say they're giving me it's us, our. This is part of one of the challenges that I have in the space. Like, don't tell me that you are the administrator of our money.
We to now have that conversation. As the mayor pointed out, she's been in contact with the secretary. I've been in contact with a number of other DOT officials. They are all anxiously waiting the opportunity to support a project like this. We are the poster child of what the Biden administration is achieving and trying to achieve with their infrastructure investments. And I am very confident that with the commitments that I have to date, we will be able to bring in the other $2 billion we need to make this project a reality. They are all anxiously waiting until I can show that we have skin. The federal government won't consider end of next year, with the expectation that we will get the funding commitment shortly thereafter. We have already begun the procurement process.
We have already begun the procurement process. Did you know that the procurement process had already begun? That then makes me say, then they've already picked the winners. Did you hear the man say, we've already begun the process? Now watch this. Listen.
For the design build of this particular project. That began actually a month or so ago.
So a month or so ago, they began the process of design and build. So even when you saw the renderings of what it's going to look like, it's cooked already. Right? So when you talk about it's cooked already. Did the man not, Riis, did he say we already began the procurement process a month ago? Listen, let me finish.
We plan to award the contracts for that work sometime mid next year.
So they're going to award the contracts for this project next year, but the bids have already been out. All right, who we got on the bids? And how did we find out that there were bids? And so now the challenge becomes, if you call me and say, okay, it seemed to me that if you might be part of the people that already got the bid. Now, I'm not mad if you're part of the people that already got the bid, but who are the people that you're bringing along with the bid, and have you shared that information with the people, or is it just an inside deal? Now, I'm not tripping on the fact that it's an inside deal, but you can't answer the question without coming to the people.
And that will begin the process for moving towards the building of this particular project. The key here has been
Let me move on. Let's keep going.
I have no connection to them, and I didn't take
of what the Biden administration with their infrastructure investments, and I am.
Since it's my second and only question, your campaign has made some hay of the donations that came from Sam Bankman-Fried's money to one of your challengers, Chuy Garcia, but you stood with the company representatives back in the spring when they broke ground in Fulton Market. What is your connection to FTX, and is there some money that you need to be returning?
I have no connection to them, and I didn't take any money. But I think that it's fair game. Some have called Mr. Garcia the front runner.
Bam! Riis, you never concede to your opponent. Here's the mayor with the biggest platform in the city of Chicago, where she calls Chuy Garcia the front runner.
She says some has called.
You never get it. Chuy Garcia, I would cut it and be like front runner.
It's fair game for him to answer questions about what his connection was. What was his conversation with the now?
She put him on the same level. Chuy Garcia has now entered her press conference with her.
Indicted an alleged fraudster who took investors' money, misused them. I think the public deserves to have answers from him, and it's not acceptable as a congressman, as a candidate for mayor, that he will not answer any questions directly. And you should hold him accountable. If he's the
now she asking the media to do her job. Now you want to be friend? What happened to that other energy?
Front runner, hold him accountable.
Wait. Did she call him the front runner? She said, if you are going to call him the front runner, how many times in one answer did she give him front runner status?
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Good afternoon.
Do you plan on attending future mayoral candidate forums? And what's your thought and strategy on how many of them are you going to attend, and how do you decide to attend?
Well, first,
will the mayor? You think she'll come to the What's in It for the Black People candidate forum? Okay.
First of all, I can't predict the future as to how many there are. When I ran 4 years ago, I think I attended like 60 of them. And certainly I'm interested in making sure that I'm out there and answering questions in a forum that is fair and open. And
So this is the mayor trying to set the stage. So remember when I told you about she said she wants to pick whose questions she's answering. And so my concern is that the black questions will be in the fair environment that she feels, because all of the time that we have an issue, Riis, our voice, our questions are minimized for her benefit, right? Because in the candidate forum that we would talk about in the traditional standpoint, Riis, they're going to, remember how, has she done anything good? Is anybody going to ask her about Anjanette Young? Is any forum that's fair and open in the black community going to be, if she gave all the supposed trusted sources money, are they trusted, are they honest brokers, or are they advocates? right? So if I see the station down the street hosting a candidate forum with the group that has the money that the mayor's been passing out and they have a candidate forum, should I really believe that we're going to ever get the answers to that? Because those questions will be about not what happened with Anjanette Young, what happened when you let up the bridges, what happened when you had the, as Salim refers to as the obnoxious quote, and you told our kids to shoot. When you let the bridges up, when the South Side burned, when you heard Brother Obadeli call in yesterday and tell us that the streets was, that black folks was being paid, they was funding all the people of what I was telling you about as it relates to the violence against black people. Who is going to give the fair and open black candidate forum? I promise you that the people that will be set, that the black forums that she does will be in safe environments that minimize the black pain and suffering that happened under her watch.
Get there when we see that. But a lot of community organizations are talking about what their plans are. I think many of them will probably take place in January, and we'll evaluate them individually to see if it makes sense for me to attend.
And then on the, you've worked very hard to get labor support. You've worked with the CFL and Bob Ryder. What was your reaction to not getting an endorsement from them and them staying neutral?
They've been neutral, I think, the last 4 or 5 cycles, so it's not a surprise.
Heather, WTTW.
So hold on. She fought. Realistically, though, Riis, for her, you know what a win was? For them not to endorse Chuy Garcia. So, but I do think that the mayor has spent a lot of time jockeying for the support of labor unions, almost to the point of disrespecting other people. And here's what they show her in return.
Hi, Mayor. A lot of your competitors in the race have released their public safety plans. Will you release a new public safety plan as part of the campaign? And do you see any change in how you address public safety if you're elected to a second term?
We talk about and explain our public safety plan virtually every day. The people that are interested in taking my job.
The people that are interested in taking my job. Riis, she seems a little defeated to me. Is it me? You see, she still got the same energy. Let's listen to it. It seems very, like, I feel like the shadow is upon her. Right? Like, the shadow is upon her and she feels it breathing. Yes. Pay attention.
Obviously have to talk about what they're going to do, what their vision is. Public safety is the #1 issue. But I would say I want to
watch this, because this is how she's going to attack Chuy.
Here, because I don't think all of them have released plans, but I also want to see the people who have associated themselves with defunding the police, what their plan is in a time where the #1 issue on everyone's lips around kitchen tables is public safety, public safety, public safety. This is something we've been extraordinarily transparent about, the highs and the lows. We make adjustments all the time, depending on what the circumstances are. I'm happy to say that we are down 15% in homicides, 20% in shootings, and on the far west side, a community that's been plagued by violence, we're seeing historic drops, 40% and higher. In the 15 communities that we have been focused on for the last 18 months, we're seeing remarkable progress because of the work that we're doing with local stakeholders. So the plan is a plan. It's something we talk about literally every time I step before any microphone. But I want to see what these folks who say they have the cure for public safety, what the truth is about that and how they would go about doing something differently. You know, it's easy to say, oh, let's fire this one, let's fire that one. But that's speaking to me for people who have zero experience in public safety. I've been around these issues as a prosecutor, as a member of the police department, as a criminal defense attorney, as an advocate for police reform and accountability for over 20 years. And I think my body of work speaks for itself.
There is a relatively robust field of candidates who want to be elected to the district councils who will feed into the new community commission. Do you anticipate endorsing any of those candidates or getting involved in those races in any way? And are you concerned that there are will be some vacancies on the south and the west sides?
I have just started looking at the people who put themselves forward. Obviously, we want full participation everywhere, but I don't anticipate that I will be weighing in on those elections. I'll be following them very
Don't
closely.
nobody want you weighing in on the election. Who wants the mayor's endorsement? Who wants to be endorsed by the mayor? I think this is also important. I should show you the beginning of the press conference because if you pay attention, after all these historic wins, nobody wanted to be standing next to the mayor. So she had Alderman Brookins, who is retiring, and Annabelle Arca, who is the newest city councilman. But Riis, with these historic accomplishments, the mayor is standing up there. She does not have the A-team up. She does not have the A-team up.
Yeah, I am concerned about it. And, we have to look at ways in which we can fill those gaps because I do want to make sure that every part of the city is fully represented. This is a very important moment. As you know, this was years in the making. We spent a lot of time trying to get the finer points right, and we want to make sure that there's full participation in all areas of the city, particularly in those areas of the city where I think trust is really a concern, legitimacy of policing is really a concern. We need the involvement of residents to sit on these councils.
Taman WBGX.
Hi, Mayor.
Hi there.
Speaking of public safety, Chicago news organizations and your administration have had talks about police radio transmissions now being encrypted. Other jurisdictions, including Las Vegas, have allowed local media organizations to listen to police communications in real time. Why won't you?
Well, here's the thing. What we've offered to the media organizations is a slight delay in the transmissions. And they've essentially told us, I won't say pound sand, but that's essentially what they've told us. Their way or no way. And where I come from on this issue is this. Having watched that fateful last weekend in May of 2020.
When the city
when it
burned.
felt like our city was really coming apart. Seeing with my own eyes the challenges that our officers were having and then learning that the communication challenges were as a result of having unencrypted communications, watching individuals who clearly were tapped into the communications try to avoid apprehension as they were listening, and we were trying to, the police officers were trying to direct in a massive crowd of chaos. It made me want to understand more about what was happening. One individual in particular that I remember had lit a police car on fire. He was trying to spray paint cameras, and as officers in the command post were trying to communicate with people in the field, he was clearly listening because he was changing direction when they were giving direction of which way he was headed. Literally changed his clothing to avoid apprehension. And then what I found out was on a routine basis, you have individuals in our community blowing whistles, air horns, and doing other things.
She's trying to stop Martin Crime Chaser from being able to know what's going on.
The communications from the dispatchers to the police officers.
Let's move on.
What happens with my own eyes was the proposal. Not everybody, but the members of the public have to wait. It's about officers. Was the proposal. Not everybody.
Years ago, what you just cited sounds like issues where the public would be listening in, but what about journalists, serious news? Is there a way for...
It's the same. You can't have one without the other. One of the proposals that the media came and said was, let us have access, but nobody else.
Trump is coming.
How can I fairly say, we're only going to give it to certain media...
The same way you only give interviews to certain. We seen her yet, Riis?
Outlets, not all, because that was the proposal. Not everybody, but the members of the public have to wait. It's about officer safety. If it's unencrypted and there's access, there's no way to control criminals who are going to also get access, listen in, and adjust their criminal behavior in response to the information that's being communicated by the officers via radio transmission. It doesn't stop the problem that I also identified, which is literally people blowing whistles, air horns, and doing everything else to block the transmissions. And it doesn't stop the problem of people recklessly calling 10-1s and other things to distract officers and send them on what are effectively false missions. And when there's an emergency that's going on, we've got to be able to communicate in a way that we can address that's going on. We've got to try to apprehend somebody who is committing, but it cannot be as some of the folks in the media said, our way or no way. This isn't about transparency. We've offered a delayed transmission. Everything will be out in the public, but it is about making sure that our officers and the public are protected. That is my solemn obligation as mayor, and I cannot compromise that. Again, I'm not making up some hypothetical circumstance. I saw this unfold through something like that again.
Forgiveness program on with the support of Congress.
Seen what happened. Transmissions is one of them.
I'm
not saying never get them. I'm saying a slight delay for purposes of officer and public safety.
Thanks, Mayor. Mariah, WBGX.
Hi, Mayor.
Hi there.
Today, Alderman Rodriguez, with the support of Congressman Jesus Chuy Garcia, introduced an ordinance that is meant to help people who've had high increases in property tax bills by creating a loan forgiveness program on home loans.
Now, I just want you to know that Mike Rodriguez was the alderman that came on during the uprisings and told us that he knew that those were good community organizations that were getting funded that were attacking our neighborhoods. I played the video for you. It's funny now because the mayor was supporting him, and now he's introducing ordinances on behalf of his candidate, Chuy Garcia, that now the mayor is at her own press conference having to answer about Chuy Garcia proposals and telling people why she should not, why they can't get property tax relief. Let's be clear. Chuy supported, as Ricky tried to point out, Fritz Kagi in his bid to be the assessor, and the mayor did too. And now look.
They said that they'd used $10 million in unused, unallocated American Rescue Plan funds. What's your response to that proposal, and is it something you would support?
I haven't read it, so I can't speak to the specifics of that. But obviously, I know that people are concerned about their property tax bills, which are just coming into residences. And so we're going to look at what tools we have available at the municipal level to be able to give some kind of relief if possible. But candidly, $10 million is not going to get the job done. We've got to look at resources from the state and look at resources from the county as well and come up with a proposal that addresses the issue. But I can't speak to the specifics because I've not seen it.
The cost of building the controversial new high school on Chicago's near south side has increased from $120 million to $150, $30 million more. Are you concerned about how CPS will find funding for the plan, given that state funding hasn't yet been secured? And Teresa Ma has said she wants the city to consider residents' concerns before pushing that funding forward? Well,
so first of all, I push back on the premise of your question, controversial. Not for the people of Chinatown, not for the people of the South Loop, and not for the people who are their legacy Ickes folks. All of those people, as you heard today, have universally said, this is a good plan.
This is your near South High School. She ain't talking about y'all no more. Right? Y'all are not the near South. Let's go back. Here we go.
$30 million more. Are you concerned about how CPS will find funding for the plan, given that state funding hasn't yet been secured? And Teresa Ma has said she wants the city to consider residents' concerns before, pushing that funding forward.
Now, let's be clear. Teresa Ma is who, Riis? Another Chuy supporter. So now the mayor wants to claim the big South Side school, the near South school, which she's kicking black folks to the curb. And now, once again, state is blocking the money that she needs. So again, the mayor is being thwarted. Chuy is playing games with her in her own city council.
Forward.
Well, so first of all, I push back on the premise of your question.
But she can't go hard against Teresa Ma because Teresa Ma controls what? The Asian vote.
Controversial. Not for the people of Chinatown, not for the people of the South Loop, and not for the people who are their legacy Ickes folks. All of those people, as you heard today, have universally said, this is a good plan, and we are comfortable with
They
it.
picked the list of people that they
so
wanted to
I push
show.
back on the notion that it's controversial. It's controversial maybe to one or two people, but not for the folks who are in those areas that are actually going to benefit from this local high school. Look, the cost of construction everywhere has gone up. And that's something that we are dealing with across every single project that we're involved with as a city. But I'm confident that the resources will be there to make this high school a reality. It's critically important for our city. If you look at the areas of growth in our city where this high school was served, we've got elementary schools down in the South Loop, for example, that are in 3 or 4 buildings because of the number of kids that are in those in the elementary school age. We need a high school, which is why I've supported it. You heard today from Alderwoman Lee about the fact that kids of Chinatown are traveling 90 minutes or more one way to go to a high school.
What does a Whitney Young student do? How far do black parents, do you know how many, we traveled almost 2 hours every 2.5 hours every day from Milan to go to Skinner. This has been a plight for black people forever. Now we got to worry about, and they don't have to travel hours. They could go to Phillips.
100 different high schools that the kids of Chinatown are going to. Now, once this high school is up and operational, they'll be able to walk to school in their community.
They'll be able to walk to school in their community. They're going to build Chinatown a state-of-the-art high school so they don't have to drive 50 miles to get to Whitney Young or the North Side Park, or to all the places, the challenges that black folks have to do to get their children into a good school.
So this is a good thing.
But again, y'all will be tripping on me. Tell me while we talking about 5 to 7 years, this is what are they? 5 to 7 years, the project gets built. And then it's built for and so they're gonna leverage the old Ickes people to build a Chinatown high school. They talked about the people from the Ickes yes, please build a Chinatown high school so we can't come back to our place.
For our city, it's a good thing to meet the needs of a growing area and population, and we will get it done.
Tessa, WBZ.
Hi there. Some aldermen, expressed concerns about Bally's economic outlook and said they wanted to see things to ensure the project is, on time and on cost. Is that something, would you, support greater project management oversight from the city?
Well, you've asked 2 questions.
So now check it out. Now they're saying you failed. Do you understand that they are pummeling her here? And the mayor Riis, it seems to me that she does not have the same energy and the same fight. Is it me?
And that's why she don't want to do no press conference with y'all now.
First of all, she ain't never did a press conference with me. So don't say y'all, because we're not on the list.
First of all, the nonsense that was said today about Bally's not having the financial wherewithal to get the project done, it's just that. It's nonsense. We vetted this 20 ways from Sunday. We were very transparent with the alderman. Not surprisingly, that nonsense is being spewed by somebody who's a vocal opponent of the casino. Bally's has, and I'm going to ask the CFO, Jenny Bennett, to come up and speak to the particulars. But Bally's has secured right now today over $1.7 billion to build this casino right now. Right now. They have the money to get it done, which the aldermen know. Facts are not convenient to some, but that is the fact. The fact that they have a leaseback agreement is a good deal for them. A good deal for them. Any option to buy the property back down the road. So I don't have any concerns whatsoever about the financial wherewithal
you ain't getting it nowhere.
Of Bally's. And of course, somebody suggested an owner's rep. We don't own we're not going to own the temporary. We don't own the permanent casino. But obviously, we have a great interest in making sure that the project proceeds on time, on budget, and we will be very involved in making sure that we are monitoring what's happening. There are reporting structures that are in place. Jenny, do you want to?
Do Chicago.
We ain't talk to Jenny.
They're vowing to try again to get their
To support the project, transportation.
Here we go.
Alice, Tribune? You have another question?
Yeah, the Bring Chicago Home Coalition, they're vowing to try again to get their proposal on the ballot, but in 2024. Meanwhile, in LA, we saw the new mayor issue an emergency declaration on the issue of homelessness. Is that a step you would, explore, or do you think more needs to be done to, add urgency to addressing the issue?
Are you asking, would I explore an emergency declaration? No. First of all, have you been to LA?
I'm from LA, yeah.
All right. So you've been there recently? So then you know that Chicago and LA are on opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to issues related to homelessness. I love LA, one of my favorite cities in the country. I'm big fan of Mayor, now, I guess I don't have to say Mayor-elect anymore, Mayor Karen Bass. We have formed a friendship and offered my support to her in any way possible. But
well,
we
you gotta help your damn self. Don't nobody want to be standing next to you.
In your reporting, make sure you say, we put in historic numbers of resources to support.
She trying to come back. In your reporting, make sure you say we put in historic resources to homelessness.
Support our homeless population, get people off the street, whether it's with every single day. Sylvester Turner's term. So we're talking with those folks on a regular basis. But negotiations require a compromise. Negotiations require good faith.
When
and
is
coming
she
to the table, not with a set of demands that are where you're unwilling
who is
to
this woman?
compromise, but sitting down on the table and trying to move forward and see where you can reach that common ground. I started those conversations in 2019 with these folks, and they told me their way or no way.
Hey, man, you tell everybody.
Alice, Tribune?
Hi, Mayor.
Hi there.
For both the Red Line extension and the near South Side High School, is there any chance that they could fall through if the federal or state government doesn't pull through with funding? And if not, what makes you confident that the resources will definitely be there?
Again, Riis, we know she ain't getting the state resources. You know that.
I felt very confident with respect to both.
No, JB don't like her at all.
They in a commercial together, though.
What that's your
both projects.
The damn prof commercial.
The resources will be there.
Could you elaborate on? Have you been promised?
I feel confident because this is something that we are determined to make happen. B, both projects.
She said, because I said so.
B, obviously we've done our homework and reached out to the funding sources. And Red Line, obviously, the federal government.
They already gave out the contract.
You may recall that I think it was Dorval in the summer of 21 when Secretary Buttigieg first came to Chicago in his role as secretary. We spent a lot of time with him talking about and showing him the plans for what the Red Line could do. I've had numerous conversations with him and his team since then, and I know President Carter, who worked in the federal government, has been talking to his former colleagues there to make sure that they understand the importance of it. This checks all the boxes of what the Biden administration has said that they want to do in these big mega projects to make sure that they're bringing equity to urban areas in particular and demonstrating that we have skin in the game. I feel very confident about it. And the same thing regarding the high school.
And I have a question for my colleague, A.D. Quigg. I understand the 2023 budget did not include a property tax hike, but the bills Chicagoans are responsible for paying in the coming weeks reflect a tax hike you did support, a burden shift from TIFs that you expanded today, and a higher levy at CPS, which had to take on additional costs last year. What is your message to Chicagoans who are looking for relief?
Well, I'm not sure I agree with all of those assumptions that were baked in. But look, this is a tough time for people. Inflation, I think, is hopefully stabilizing
$9, Riis.
Going down. We're going to look at the tools that we have, which frankly are limited at the municipal level. We don't set the property tax rates. We don't do the assessments, but we do speak with the counterparts in the county that do that. And as I said in answer to the other question, we're going to look at ways in which we can help mitigate against the effects of rising property assessments.
Marianne Eher, NBC.
Here we go.
Mayor, hi. I wonder if you would react to this poll that was just out this week on the mayor's race. It does show that you have a steep climb. Can you share what you see as your path and what polling you've done that refutes this premise?
Well, here's what I would say. About 4 years ago this time.
You weren't the mayor then, Mayor.
About 4 years ago this time, if you let me finish.
But you're comparing.
No. You asked me a question and I'm answering. Do you want me to answer?
Sure.
4 years ago this time, polling showed that I was about 1%. And, there were bigger names in, more money, and here I sit. Fast forwarding now, somebody took a poll for their preferred candidate. You all need to ask, did they...
Don't tell me what to do.
Simulate a real campaign.
Listen to this. Now, okay, I want to break this down. When you hear the candidate talking about the poll and the crosstabs and did you see, that's a distraction. That means that somebody has told her, look, we don't have an answer to this, so just ask, did they see the crosstabs? Because in politics, right, the way that you distract someone when you don't like the poll is you say, ask them about the crosstabs. And then when you say, I haven't seen the crosstabs, then I can say, you're not informed on the process. Now, Riis, I'm going to be honest with you. It's very few people really understand what the crosstabs are. The crosstabs are the various demographics and the questions. And I am going to say that the poll does seem to appear to be flawed. It seems to be the old poll that they had that gave them the wherewithal to run to support the mayor. But watch the distraction. Watch the distraction. Crosstabs as a distraction.
They run negatives against that. Well, as I understand it, they were bigger names in, more money, and here I sit. Fast forwarding now, somebody took a poll
No, she didn't say who. We know who somebody is. It's Local 150. But what you don't want to do is say nothing crazy and talk smack as the press do, so you rile up Big Jim Sweeney, and then he drop another $1 million on your ass. So notice how careful she is to avoid the usage of it. And I also want to point out that the president of the CFL is not standing up here with her, even as a casino, because they won't allow her to get any pictures with the big bosses.
For their preferred candidate, you all need to ask, did they simulate a real campaign? Did they run negatives against that? Well, as I understand it, they won't.
Yes, they ran negatives, because you run negatives to find out how, when they're going to hit you, what are they going to hit you with, right? The biggest things, and you essentially look at, so Riis, they say, what are the 4 most effective messages against the mayor, right? So when it was the president, the biggest negative that they had was me, right? And so what they said was, this is all we got, so we're going to put $4 million against the Mays thing, right? And roll. So usually the negatives are there because then that also informs what commercial you run to combat the negatives. So you know that Chewy's negatives are going to be, he's a socialist. He was with CTU. He said defund the police. He said all of those things, and then they have to build a counter strategy. If you're building a real campaign, you want to know what the worst things that people can say so that you have a combat in your TV spots to address it. So pay attention.
Won't release the crosstabs and show what.
And nobody releases the crosstabs. You release the crosstabs to the political insiders, but they don't typically release the crosstabs, because if I give you the crosstabs, then guess what, fam? Then I'm telling you what works against me and what works for you. That's why people keep their poll results secret and they issue a poll memo, but they don't tell you all the information. Because Riis, why would I pay to tell you how to beat me?
This was done, and I think there's some question about the methodology of that poll. Look, you're going to see and hear all sorts of stuff between now and February 28th. What I'm focused on is doing my job, making the case for why I deserve 4 more years as mayor, and I hope what you all do is anybody who says, I'm the front runner, I can beat the mayor, ask them, have they done the work to challenge with their negatives and simulated a campaign. And
Why I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with me? Did you ask them? No, you the mayor. Ain't
because
nobody
I know
else
what
the mayor.
answer to that is.
What is
and I
it?
feel very confident in my chances for re-election.
Nobody else does because they ain't standing up there with you.
Could you also give us an insight into why it is very obvious you're not as available as you used to be taking questions? How is that turning on the light as you promised?
What?
Well, I think I'm pretty available. I'm out and about. I'm out multiple times a week in neighborhoods doing interviews with reporters. I invite you all to come to the events that we have.
Come to my rally, as President Trump used to say, where all my people will be, where I will hire the guys to threaten you in the space.
Out in the neighborhoods.
Aaron, Daily Line.
Many of you don't show up.
Aaron, Daily Line.
Go ahead.
First question is for the new alderman.
I'm going to skip this. This was funny, though, but I'm going to let that go. Well, let it play.
One thing that's been highlighted is you served as the Alderman George Cardenas's chief of staff for 3 years, and so you have experience working in his office. But how do you plan to differentiate yourself from him? How do you plan to be your own alderman?
I want to point out, shout out to Annabelle Arca. Look at me now. Look, she knows the whole Busta Rhymes part of the Look at Me Now. She performed it one time at a karaoke. She was also in my MLI class. Remember I told y'all about MLI? Look at him, still moving. Juan Rangel.
Well, I mean, other than the obvious, in that I'm of a different generation. I'm Latina. I'm a woman. I am an attorney, so I definitely bring a much different perspective. He has more of a finance background, whereas, I went to law school. I have a legal background and training as a lawyer. And then, frankly, as a staffer, you get a much different perspective when you rise through the ranks.
And for the mayor, today, Alderman Daniel Espada submitted a resolution nominating himself to be chair of the Environment Committee. This is the second time in recent months where an alderman has taken it upon themselves to, say they want to chair a committee. Why have these resolutions stalled, and do you support Alderman Espada as chair of the Environment Committee?
Well, first of all, you just filed it today, so saying resolutions. Let me just. If you ask a question, I will do my best to answer, but I can't answer.
I got a
it
question.
when
What's in it for
I
the black
start
people?
To speak, and you cut me off. So tell me if you want me to answer or not. So there will be a process by which we evaluate that. In the first instance, we will have conversations with the vice chair, who's been there all along, as to whether
You
or not
did
she
when it
wants
was
to step
Sophia
up,
King.
to be the chair of the committee. So.
Thank you, Mayor. That's a wrap, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone.
That, my brothers and sisters, will be the last time you hear from the mayor for the year.
Holiday season, man. She did her little, but to say you the mayor and you hold conferences and nobody shows up is crazy.
But do you believe that? No, she shows up, but then she won't answer questions. So here's the deal, Riis. She wants you to come take good pictures and ask no questions, but then she won't make herself available to ask questions. And now she's moving into the fake media space. So she's really, Riis, what she's doing and what the mayor has done is 4 years of screwing people over is coming to full fruition. Remember that time when she said she was only going to talk to the black media? Right? So now when I show up to your press conference, what she wants is the good earned media. So she wants you to come to the press conference and take photos and run on the news, but she doesn't want to answer the questions. And essentially what the media recognizes is if we don't cover you, then you got to pay for everything. So if you ain't going to answer my questions, what the hell am I coming out to you take a picture in Roseland where it's going to be, and I can't ask you, who got the contract for this? Riis, Seems like the mayor is on a slippery slope. Is it me or has her energy changed just a little?
You know, it got to change a little bit. She got to be a little jolly around this time. You know, she got to be a little bit loving and caring. And you know, I just think after that commercial that she had, she's just in an emotional state right now. She's in an open state. You know, so you know, we're just seeing the mayor at a different time right now.
So, can anybody? What are your thoughts on the press conference? Like, I feel like she really told us who she was. Like, even with that whole Chinatown near South, Riis, I think she gave Chewy way too many props. I think Chewy is banging her in her own counsel. Think about standing up there and you're the mayor of Chicago and you got to answer questions because one of Chewy's chiefs is that you gave $36 million to beat black people up with. Is now like, she looking around like, damn, where is it coming from? Think about this, Riis. I'm going to go back real quick because I want to show you something that I thought was important. And I'm going to do this because it's my guy. But I want you to see the beginning of this press conference only because I want you to see how weak this mayor is with the expansion of the casino, with the red line expansion. She should have had the Black Caucus would have been there, right? All of them. But look at the press conference, Riis. Here it goes. I want you to see the pre. These are the flags. These are the people. The mayor, in her last press conference of the season before people go to get election. I mean, before. This is her last press conference of the year, right? Riis. Here they come. No alderman. Only one alderman. Two aldermen. Alderman Brookins, who's leaving, and Alderman Abarca, who just got sworn in, who probably is standing as far away from the mayor as she possibly can because she doesn't want to be in the pictures.
As always said,
now let's go.
I am happy to be here. If this was a football game, I would be spiking the ball and doing my end zone dance. That is how big a day it was for Chicagoans and Southside Chicagoans with respect to the extension of the red line. It's been a long time coming, but change is going to come. Change is going to come in allowing people to come from way out at 130th and in the middle of nowhere all the way downtown, from all Gale Gardens all throughout downtown, to be able to connect to jobs and opportunity. It's always said that everybody talks about crime in Chicago. One of the best deterrents of crime is having a job. And with this increased transportation, will allow people to get to and from work, to have better choices and with respect to transportation and jobs, etc. I'm also happy and want to spike the ball because I got rid of a colleague that had started with me for 20 years ago and got a new, more improved version in Ellen Bell Abarca. And so we are happy, and I've told her and warned her, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. And so without further ado, our illustrious mayor, Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Thank you.
I need for y'all to understand that no shade to Alderman Brookins.
So good afternoon, everybody.
But the mayor, in the biggest day of her year,
for the city of Chicago, big
has-
news on the major infrastructure.
could get no one, so she's got new aldermen who won't stand with her because they got to stand up and go into their awards. So the mayor had to get in a retiring Alderman Brookins, to deliver this, right? Even as aldermen stood up on the floor, because nobody wants to be standing next to the mayor. And then I got to point out one big thing that I thought was really important that you all notice or take note of, right? And I think it's symbolic of the fact that even in passing one of the biggest infrastructure projects in the city that will last for the next 6 to 10 years, for labor, the mayor could not get the president of the CFL to stand with her. Here we go.
Andrea Kluger.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrea Kluger. I'm Deputy Chief of Staff at the Chicago Federation of Labor. The CFL represents approximately 300 unions who in turn represent 500,000 working people across Chicago and Cook County. The CFL stands in solidarity with all workers fighting for their families across the city, which is why we've strongly supported securing the Red Line Extension TIF, which will be critical to ensuring this project becomes a reality. I'd first like to thank the mayor and the city council for moving this project forward and securing the funding for the Red Line extension. This TIF funding was necessary to leverage what could be an additional $2 billion in federal funding. We are excited about this project for many reasons. First and foremost, this project will create good paying jobs and employment opportunities for all communities.
All communities. But it's the Red Line extension. Who is managing the blackness? Clearly not the mayor.
I'm not just talking about the building of the Red Line extension, which will create 6,000 good union construction jobs. We're also talking about the 30,000 total jobs that will be created by the new development and businesses around the Red Line extension,
of which the contracts have already been passed out,
and the brand new transit stations on the far south side. This project will connect the far south side community with the rest of the city, and that opens up access to jobs, education, and training opportunities.
I just be wondering, do the CFL got somebody black that could have came and said congratulations to the black people on the black side of town who finally getting connected to the side? It's like, it's so crazy to me that here is again the biggest day and we
opportunities.
That's okay.
Think of the new doors that will open for someone who doesn't have to take.
Just think of the new doors that should open for the who is the black broker for all of the jobs and contracts that are going to be going, because we know it's going to be people from Indiana, and this is who we got. I'm just telling you, this your mayor. So I want you to be clear who's administrating your win.
So much time transferring to multiple buses and trains just to get to work every day.
No, they don't. They take the metro.
The new opportunities downtown, in Pilsen, Lincoln Park, Rogers Park, and beyond. And for those hardworking residents in Pullman, Roseland, Calumet Park, less time spent traveling to work means family can spend more time together and planning for everything else important in life. Frequent rail service will reduce commute times and provide sustainable transportation that will help contribute to improved air quality, reduction of emissions, and energy savings. And that is a benefit to jobs, education, and training opportunities. Think of the new doors that will open for someone who doesn't have to take so much time transferring to multiple buses and trains just to get to work every day.
White people.
The new opportunities downtown, in Pilsen, Lincoln Park, Rogers Park, and beyond.
So all the white people that work in Pilsen, Rogers Park, all those places, you can now live on the south side and save the time and still be home with your family.
For those hardworking residents in Pullman, Roseland, Calumet Park, less time spent traveling to work means family can spend more time together and planning for everything else important in life.
You can build a family in the south side now too.
Frequent rail service will reduce commute times and provide sustainable transportation that will help contribute to improved air quality, reduction of emissions, and energy savings. And that is a benefit to all Chicagoans.
Because all Chicagoans, dear white folks, you can now move to the Southland because we are going to stop all of the institutional pollution that is happening, the environmental racism.
Again, we're excited about this project because of the great jobs it will provide and the great opportunities it will create for the far.
Who is managing the black jobs? Who? Can we have a black union? Like, can we do an organization of black, or can we organize black workers and have our own union? I don't know, but this
South Side community.
This is. It seems to me that our jobs are going to be brokered here. Yeah.
Thank you again to the mayor and the city council for moving this forward.
I also want you to be clear that the Chicago Federation of Labor did not send their big chief. They sent the deputy chief of staff. No shade to Miss Krugler or whatever her name is, because the mayor is now persona non grata. You did? Riis, I hope you all got as much out of that press conference as I did. Sometimes people don't want to hear the things that are said right in front of their faces. But I thought it was important that we listen to the last press conference of the year. It's the last time we'll hear from the mayor directly until 2023. Learned a lot. Hope you did too. What's the matter, Riis? Why you back there giggling?
It's just funny because, like, literally, it was like cold talking and they was like talking about us, and then when she got up there, she like, oh yeah, we're gonna make sure that they did some, you go up there and they just like literally just start naming
everybody but you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's like I was watching and I was listening to it and I was like, they ain't gonna hear it. They just gonna say Maze you. So when somebody tells me 5 to 7 years, and then you say 5 to 7 years, and they say Lincoln Park, Rogers Park, right? Like, so let me just tell you, in about 3 months, y'all can Anjanette Young as many Anjanette Youngs as y'all want. Y'all can bust up in everybody's house, do what you want. You can not get a piece for as long as you want. But someone, until the end of this election cycle, and then after that, I'm giving it to somebody else because I done been at it with 2 administrations. I've been at it with people at the state, city, and county. Riis, I'm tired. I'm tired of being Tony Preckwinkle taking whacks at me and my family. I'm tired of the mayors taking whacks at me and my family. I'm tired of the governor and them taking whacks at me and my family. I'm tired of being put in a position where I got to cheer while people watch me starve. People say, you telling the truth, but we can't support you. So, again, she told you. She didn't even have it. They didn't even give her the cue card. She just said, oh, they didn't say you wasn't supposed, they didn't say, you supposed to say the South Side, right. You supposed to say Inglewood, the people from Inglewood, the people from Chatham, the people. She was like, oh no, we finna eat, y'all.
She ain't even named not a single one.
Not one Negro neighborhood.
She passed Roseland. She ain't right.
And again, fam. So fam, I got what my man tell me out his mouth, and I got what the people who I know 5 to 7 years, that jobs. In 5 to 7 years, the people from Rogers Park, Pilsen, all of them can go repopulate Argyle Gardens and all of those neighborhoods that y'all are cheering for. It's okay though, man. That's why I be like, man, I wish I did not know how to read and I did not know how to count. But I'm going to forget. In about 3 months, I'm going to forget all how to read and count. Well, I'm not going to forget how to count because I'm going to count my money. But I'm going to forget how to read these contracts. I'm going to forget how to read these papers. I'm going to forget what my third eye be showing me. I'm going to put a piece of tape over my third eye. I'm going to grab my mask. And I'm about to save me a man's. Because y'all... Woo! Hey, can I say a big shout out to Cheryl Maynor, Kai El-Zabar, to Danielle, who caught my name and to Danielle Sanders, Chicago News Weekly. Thank y'all. If y'all get a chance, go out and pick up the paper. Check me out. They got me in my own words. They cut some of them out probably for my own good. Because, you put me on the phone, I'm going to tell you what I think. They be like, you can't say that. Anyway, y'all, it is the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, Riis, you can still tell them. Maze used to say, you're going to be like, remember what Maze used to say? Remember what Maze said? Remember when he told us? And they over there getting rich. Now, what they doing on that? If you don't like it, because you can still tell them. Go ahead, what's up?
No, a call just came through late, but it's good.
Go, I'll take the call. Caller, you on the Mace Jackson Show. What's up? Caller, you there? You quit. You scared.
Can you hear me?
I can. Come on.
Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, my bad. Hey, I called you about a week ago. I'm the young man who said that I was, going to school and working my way up and telling you how I was working hard and stuff like that.
Right.
I've been doing that for like the last.
I remember.
Okay, bro. I just want to. I'm taking a lot of cues from you. So, and I've been feeling the same way you've been feeling for a long time, and I just been working. So, I mean, I don't really, if that's what you, I don't really know what to do at this point. But I want to thank you. You know what I mean? Because I just started back listening to you, and I want to thank you because I just been so confused myself. I'm doing a clinical rotation right now, and I'm the only black dude there, and the amount of microaggressions and racism I have to deal with is crazy. But like I said, man, I want to thank you because I would have heard that seen that on the news, and I would have been. I don't understand all of the political stuff like you, but I do. Like you said, it's that third eye. I got common sense, and I can see, I can add, and I can read. So, thank you, man. Like I said, I'm taking a lot of cues from you. So I mean, if that's what you, because I'm trying to see how and what I need to do. I feel like a lot of elders, they just kind of was like bump the youth. You know what I mean? Straight up. And I'm just, and I've been thinking it was my problem or my fault for about 10 years, bro. And now I really realize, no, it's structural. This is political, and a lot of elders, they ain't riding for us, man. And that's the truth. But thank you, brother, for all that you do. I want to thank you. If I had the money, I would, but I'm still in school.
Nah, you stay in school, man, and you get the money, and I appreciate you. I appreciate the little brother for getting out there and doing this thing. So I appreciate you. Thank you for calling, and you keep on trucking, man. You keep on putting it down. The best success you could do is to finish that clinical rotation, get your paper, get your degree, and then don't forget your people. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's like it's too easy to let other people go. Don't forget your people. I'm going to be okay. I talk smack because, everybody be like, Mace, we don't want you to go. Then the radio station call and be like, we'll need that $10,000 today. And I be thinking, yeah, how many years I'm going to keep paying to lose my own money? And it's not you, shorty. It's like it's your cause that make me keep doing it. All right, y'all. So that is the end of the Mace Jackson Show. So for Maze, Riis, and Ruthie, I am the host of the Mace Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? Shout out to the Hustle Mommies and the Mom Squad who will be at Obsidian tonight, having a good joint. Not literally. I don't mean it like that. But they will be celebrating their events tonight. Thank you to everybody who has supported Obsidian. Thank you to Cheryl, shout out to Worsham Robinson, photographer as well, photographer to the stars, because he made me feel like a celebrity and a star. All right, y'all. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in today. Star, you still owe me some lamb chops. Constance, what's going on? Randy Span, your boy J Mal going to the feds. That's snitchery. Shout out to Alvin E. Norton, Max Sykes, Tiger, Lily. I would say by the Beulah, but I'm not talking to Beulah McLeod. Shout out to Sister Zakiya Muhammad. Shout out to Cassandra Matz. Shout out to Salim Muwakil, who said we was obnoxious yesterday. Dang, Salim. I was feeling the kind of way. Shout out to Salim for being on Phil Donahue twice. See, Salim, you OG for real. Forrest Gump for real. Shout out to Junior Lee, who we ain't even gonna talk to no more because I think he fake. He is the mayor. You think Junior could be the mayor?
No, not the mayor.
Okay. See, Junior, around here talking about let's give her a break. Tell her to send me my money back for these 4 years I've been on this damn station. How about that? Shout out to our, who else? Martha Reed and the Vandellas. Desmond. Who else on there? All the other ones y'all hiding over. Shout out to Francis Lake. The rest of y'all hiding on YouTube. But look, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Regina, I see you. Shout out to Valoria. Shout out to all the BP1. What's in it for the black people? Shout out to Tamiko Holt, my exec board. Shout out to Devin Gordine, who we haven't heard from in a minute. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And thank you to everybody who had a birthday today. And if you don't like it, still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk the soul.